Hello everyone, welcome to the United States Grand Prix. We're here in Austin, Texas, and for the fourth installment of Alr this week. And yes, it's been an absolutely dramatic week indeed. Welcome along then to Cobalt then. And of course tonight we are in round 16 then with 5 Grand Prix to go. We've got a couple of qualifying bands tonight then, and it's the 2 Alpine drivers then. Before we get into it, we got Cruster T, who ironically gave his teammate for this week, Sir Dave, a qualifying ban. Unfortunately, them 2 came to blows at the end of the straight in turn 1, unfortunately, in the Japanese Grand Prix. So Sir Dave has got a qualifying ban, and I'm sure that I've seen Cruster T has also got a quali ban as well. Cruster T is the newest driver to the Cobalt paddock here now, as of course he will be, as he's replaced Liam D, who unfortunately had to bow out of ALR for the foreseeable future due to other commitments. Oh gosh, I've got a real bad indigestion at the moment. I've just had a bounty, which I don't even like bounties, but I'm just starving, and any bit of chocolate really gets me going. Then, oh dear, and Hammer Time is unfortunately got to go in a bit. Is unfortunately spun now. That is not good at all, is it? There for Hammer Time, he spins the car around and away he goes. Then, I'll tell you, look at the drivers and the constructors standing. Said whilst Hammer Time is just out on circuit at the moment. Hammer Time leads the championship by 63 points from Paris and Starburst are joint in second. That means that tonight the championship cannot be won from Hammer Time, and that's the same for the constructors as well, and so no championships can be decided here tonight in Cobalt. Then in fourth position is Brooksy's 24 points, almost a win behind the both promotion spots now then, so Brooksy then may have to pull his socks up, and he ain't here tonight either, which means that he may be losing more ground on that final promotion spot. J-Dog in fifth position, and he's 4 points away from Brooksy. Can he leak from back up in the fourth? Duncan Davis moved himself into sixth position there. He is only 5 points away from his teammate now. Iron Knight in seventh there. He is a bit further back, 19 points away from Duncan Dave. Smithfield Mighty, strong season in eighth position. Cassow in ninth. Booty Delight completes the top 10 then. So far, Cruster T then, as he is now included into the championship, he is now in last position. Unfortunately, he's on 11 points set. Cruster T is Whitty on 12, he is 19th, and Picasso on 17 points, he is 18th at the moment. Hammer Time is just starting on his way as well. We have got talking of Hammer Time in the Constructors Championship, Alpha Tara leads the Constructors by 71 points, and quite impressive indeed from Alfa Romeo, who is second. Haas team in third position, 23 points away then from the Alfa Romeo team, 94 points away from the Alpha Tari. Williams are in fourth position there, 12 points behind the Haas team. Aston Martin only 4 points away from the Williams, very close indeed. Then Ferrari in sixth position, seventh position is the McLaren team. Is quite big gaps now towards the back end of the Constructors Championship table, apart from Mercedes and Alpine. And Alpine are in 8th position, then Mercedes are in 9th, 6 points away, and 10th position is the Red Bull team, only on 66 points at the moment now. And unfortunately, in the joint constructors, and this is how the state of play is. AlphaTauri have got, this is after the events of Japan, remember. AlphaTauri leads the championship by 264 points set. However, now the next run of cards, that it's very much nip and tuck then after the AlphaTauri, because Ferrari are only 20 points in front of the McLaren team. McLaren are only 15 points in front of the Mercedes team. Williams are only 5 points in front of the Mercedes team, and then Haas are only 5 points in front of Williams as well. It's ridiculously close then. Gaps are a bit bigger then as we go down the table. 43 points behind the Haas team is the Alfa Romeo in 7th. Aston Martin trail the Alfa Romeo team by 74 points. Red Bull have moved themselves off the bottom. They are now 9th in the joint constructors, 60 points away from the Aston Martin, and Alpine are now last, unfortunately, as they are 73 points away from the Red Bull team, and Alpine are now just under the lines. That they have really struggled this season in terms of in terms of joining the Alr grid, haven't they? Alpine have, unfortunately, but of course they got plenty of time to turn around. The gaps between first and last in the joint constructors is 559 points, which is not much at all, to be honest. Really isn't indeed. Then in the grand scheme of things in the joint constructors, just watching Craig and Hammer Time is set a lap time so far, but however we've got Connects, who has gone off in the final turn there. He's on medium tires. Connects is and he is recovering now. This is Connects' second Grand Prix start in the Cobalt division. And goodness me, you're very chattery tonight, aren't you? We'll go for the comments in just a minute, but before we do, let's just stick with Craig. Our lovely helmet design here. Of course, he's got the very similar to the Mercedes colours. That across the line he comes. He's second fastest, a tenth of a second away then from the championship leader at the moment. So that is not a bad time at all. Hammer Time there coming into the pits. And as I said tonight, he cannot win the championship tonight, Hammer Time, but he can very much put himself in a beautiful golden opportunity going in to Mexico in a week's time. Then, of course, Mexico is very much high in the sky, isn't it? Then, lovely helmet design, by the way, from Starburst. That's absolutely sensational helmet design there from Starburst. Lovely stuff indeed. Over the line he comes out, and Starburst goes third fastest. That's medium tires as well. I'm wondering why we've got some medium tires going out there on the on these laps here tonight, and that's an interesting development here then. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I wonder if there's some weather which might be coming in the race as well. When I say weather, I mean we might have a bit of the wet stuff. And Smithy Almighty out the final turn. Smithy Almighty goes third fast, and the slowest of the soft runners so far, but he's third at the moment there. Smithy Almighty is, of course, as we already mentioned, in the Drivers' Championship, doing a very good job. Smithy Almighty is then in a very solid top 10 positions there. Good stuff. And Connects who had a bit of a spin to open this lap then, so this lap may not be too competitive then. Let's go through the comments there. Jamie69 laugh out loud. Hello, Mr. Young Light said Sean. Hey Sean, it's Young Light said, how are you doing? Good luck to Cobalt tonight. Can't wait then. Gooner saying good luck to Cobalt as well. Bounty not the best. It's really not. It's getting me a really nasty aftertaste as well. Goodness me, Connects might have to change his overalls after that coming into the pits there. Kakarot Goku saying 15 minutes rain at the start. Goodness gracious me then. Vintage saying all eyes are on Styles. Scooby Stew, a wet race. Alpha Tires has been great across all tiers. Young Light saying I cannot disagree with that. They've been superb, haven't they? Say Lisa and Spudhead, unfortunately, as Smithy Almighty is out of qualifying here. Oh, goodness gracious me then. I was reading the comments there, and he is out of qualifying. That's not good, is it? Goodness gracious me then. As we're just watching Iron Knight, then he's just going through the S as well. That's a track invalidation there from Iron Knight. And Smithy Almighty, that time may have potentially would have gotten through, I think, then. So he's going to be kicking himself there, unfortunately. So that's a shame then. Stars saying, don't pressure me. Stars out qualified, unfortunately. Kat saying hello and good luck to all the drivers. Great job on comments as well. Kat saying thank you very much indeed. Vince saying OMG Smithy. Yeah, Smithy out of qualifying. That is not good at all, is it? Unfortunately for Smithy. Yellow flag in sector 1. There's when the Haas cars is crawling. So here's Scooby Stew down the back straight. So that's a shocker there from Smithy Almighty. Major blow indeed then, as we're just on board now with Scooby Stew coming into the final part of that. Then it's very technical and twisty, this last part of the course. So it's fast and flowing in Sector 1. It's all about straight line speed and power in Sector 2. And Sector 3, it's all point and squirt then. Here is Scooby Stew then. Let's see what he can do as he comes in to the final couple of corners as well. And now and he's just now getting one more corner to go then for Scooby Stew. Accelerated out of the final turn then. What is he going to do then? Cross the line now. And he goes full fast as Scooby Stew does that. Again, that is the slowest of the time runner so far for Scooby Stew. However, this might be more of a glorified practice session here because of the participants in the qualifying session. Because at the moment, Smithy Almighty is going to be starting last on the grid. Styles and Sir Dave Venn, who'll be 17th and 16th on the grid unless someone else drops out before them. Here's Jenner then. Jenner, a very good qualifier is the Jenner. Race trim hasn't been the luckiest man in the world, has he then? But he's coming out of the final turn then. Jenner is and accelerates away. All good as he's riding those curbs. But again, then just underlines his one lap pace there. Jenner is very quick on one lap trim, isn't he, in the Aston Martin car? And he builds up into turn number 1 as well. Of course, this is 3 qualifying sessions out around here. Qualifying 1, 2, and 3. Last night we had a short quali, didn't we? Which is a bit of a, it was a nice change, really. I quite enjoyed the short quali session. We had a short quali last night after technical gremlins in at Q1. Then hopefully we won't get any gremlins in this session tonight then. Yeah, so qualifying one then, 18 minutes long. Then we are just aiming to lose the three slowest drivers in this session then, which is 16th, 17th and 18th. Look at how hot it is out there. I've already heard that we are expecting a bit of moisture in the air then, 15 minutes at the start of the race then, by the sounds of things then. So that may, that's going to throw a curveball into qualifying too then. So I'm not expecting then many drivers to try and go out onto the medium tyres in qualifying too then. Of course, you do get an extra set of soft tyres back for qualifying 3, but that remains to be seen, of course then. J-Dog there just come through turn 18 as well. There's 20 turns on this course. And of course, this track was first a party of the Formula 1 calendar back in at 2012, wasn't there? We had a legendary race then between Hamilton and Vettel then. It was a great race indeed there, as Hamilton just hunted down Vettel, didn't he? And he passed Vettel as well. Of course, that was where Vettel was really very much in the dominant Red Bull cars, wasn't he there? And Vettel was on his way to becoming a three-time world champion then that season as well, when he beat Fernando Alonso in the end of that season there. Connects out down the coming down the back straight. Might be able to have a cheeky slipstream here off the McLaren of Scooby Stew then. Scooby Stew is on another time lap here then, so connects there. It's going to be quite quickly catching up to the back of Scooby Stew, because Scooby Stew has done a couple laps. He gets out of the way. That's quite good stuff there from Scooby Stew. Abandon is up there, so Abandon is up there because Scooby Stew, I think, is just doing a long run plan here at the moment, isn't he? He's not. He's just trying to get his way with things, isn't he? Here's connects then in the Alpha Tauri then, accelerating out of 17 into 18, and a lot of corners on this circuit has been modelled after some other tracks then around the world then, coming into 19 and 20. And I think the turn 19 is one of the most difficult corners on the course there, really. If you run out wide, you've got to get a track in validation at you. Tracking station that connects gone across the line there, 3/10 a second in front of Hammer Times and Alpha Tauri 1-2 at the moment then, looking very strong then. That team is once again Cresta T also out of qualifying as well, and which is for the qualifying button then. Just watching Duncan Dave then, who's just out of 70 as well. That track has been, of course, that corner was, I think, modelled off of Bahrain's track of Bahrain's corner of turn 9 and 10, hasn't it? Which I think is one of the most difficult corners in all the Formula 1 calendar, in my opinion. Now, of course, the Sector 1 is very much modelled off of Maggotts and Beckett's, and maybe even these Suzuka S's there. And then, of course, I think also turn 18 is probably a model off of Turkey's turn 8, however not as much entry and apex speed. Spudhead has just gone fast in the Alfa Romeo. There's too many Alphas in here, isn't there? Goodness gracious me. Of course, there's also too many teams beginning with A. There's also too many teams with blue as well. Goodness me, I'm just moaning for the sake of moaning, and I just need to I need to be a bit more cheery, don't I? Winnie is gone at 11 fastest then, 10 first second away from Scooby Shoot, man. Scooby Shoot dropping down to 10 for sincere expression saying, come on, big dog, and Knight said top 6 Scooby Shoot with a question mark. Well, Scooby Shoot is 10 for the moment then, but that's not too bad then. ZGS and Iron Knights are just on outlets as well then. I think that this qualifying session then may just about be coming to the, well, I think in terms of competitive nature, I think this qualifying session may be almost the peak here, as of course we're a lot of quality bans, and unfortunately, and this is definitely more of a practice session. All we do is need to get a time on the board. Unfortunately for Smithy Almighty, he got a time on the board down, but unfortunately he also went into the wall, so that was not very good, was it then? And now in to the final turn as well. Kakarot Goku saying that he didn't practice in the wet, so he may be a bit concerned about that. Here's Iron Knight and a Grand Prix winner back at the British, I was going to say Belgium, the British Grand Prix earlier on this season, and he has got he was very happy with that Grand Prix win. In terms of the full-time drivers that we've got listed at the moment in Kobo, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Grand Prix winners this season. Of course, Hammer Times has taken most of the plaudits with 7 Grand Prix wins. Grand Prix win also for Brooke. Well, he's had 3 Grand Prix wins, Brooks Yates, this season, but unfortunately it's it's been it's consistency which has let Brooksy down at the moment in that promotion spot into the top 3. We have also got 2 wins for J-Dog as well, and then we have 1 win for Iron Knight and 1 win for Starbust as well. But Starbust's consistency is very much keeping it very much in there, isn't he? Because indeed though, but with no Paris tonight, then this is a good opportunity then for Starbust to assert his authority and getting up into getting back into second in the championship as well. So a golden opportunity tonight then. Let's see how this one progresses then. If everyone crash mushroom, maybe, I think Scooby Stew is saying in terms of if you'll get 6th position or not there. Talking of Scooby Stew, he's had a very good season this season. He's participated in every single Grand Prix this season with 27 points to his name. Only 4 DNFs as well for Scooby Stew. I think his best result was at the Austrian Grand Prix where he finished 7th, I think it was, for Scooby Stew. So good stuff indeed there for Scooby Stew. On the final turn now for Iron Knight, then over the line he comes. He goes second fastest, Iron Knight. Very competitive indeed then from the Haas team then, and he has broken up the party of the Alfa Romeo team and also the Alfa Tauri as well, because it's an all Alfa domination here at the moment, isn't there? As we got the Alfa Romeos 1 and 2, or it was until Iron Knight sport the party. He put his Haas in a place where maybe shouldn't belong then, or does it belong? I think it should belong here tonight as Haas's home Grand Prix. Is J-Dog down in 9th position at the moment then. The man who's 5th in the championship, so he would like to probably claw his way a bit higher up than that. However, this qualifying session is only about getting out of qualifying 1, of course, and that is being 15 for above. That is the aim in this qualifying session here tonight. We've also got ZJ, who's invalidated his time. He's on medium tires at the moment. Senna, it's just said, hey, Ginger Rage, good evening, Senna. And Mushroom saying, they will Scooby laugh out loud in terms of having some instances as well, as just on board now as well. Senna looks like, as Goku is saying then, or as Salas is saying, he's glad that Senna is only watching tonight then, and that's because, I'm working, making thumbnails at the moment. Oh, good gosh indeed then. So Senna now, making some thumbnails. Of course, I hope he can make me some thumbnails as well, because my nails are absolutely atrocious at the moment then. Oh, that's a poor joke. We've got Spider saying that was very tasty indeed. Chaz saying, General Chaz says hello there. Good evening, General Chaz, then, or General Chaz, you are a bold one. Starbust said has retired from the session, but he is safe and sound into qualifying 2. Iron Hazard, I guess then. We've also got wet setup OP then for Spider as well. So we'll see how that progresses as well then. On board at the moment then with ZJS and going through the SSN, and now just and now going to the final party. Oh goodness me, that back end almost stepping out there, but he's carrying on his way as well. ZJS just needs to get a time on the board, and he should be safe. Well, he will be safely through if he gets a time on the board, then, doesn't he? So I'll qualify him on this. Question T qualified ban. Stars is not participating. We have also got Sir Dave qualifying ban as well, but Sir Dave might be able to get through here. So that'll be good stuff indeed. Of course, Smith Almighty did not have a qualifying ban, but unfortunately he's gone into the wall and he is out of qualifying there. Senna is working on some thumbnails at the moment, so good stuff indeed there for Senna then. Of course, Senna I think is now a full-time driver for the silver for silver, isn't he? We'll make that more official on Monday night when we're in the Mexican Grand Prix as well then. Of course, tonight at 10 p.m. as well, there is a big announcement to come up as well, so keep your eyes peeled, everyone. That would be in the driver chat rather than anything else. The big announcement for any the general viewing public as DJs goes when fastest will be made at a later date, more in December going forward then. So that is just the future of ALR. So really good stuff then. So keep your eyes peeled around 10 o'clock tonight as well. But I'll probably be in bed by then because I'm absolutely shattered. But there we go. That's because I'm a lazy evil Knievel. Jinner is 5 tenths a second down. He hasn't validated his time, no, Jinner has said. Paige, unfortunately, out of qualifying as well, because I think Paige was working late tonight, so she will be in the race. Jinner! Oh, goodness me, very close to the barrier there, because if you damage the car, you're out of qualifying. No second chances here in qualifying these days. So Jinner there being very lucky indeed then. So we have potentially lost 5 drivers in this opening qualifying session. Now we're only going to have 13, I think, for qualifying 2 here tonight then. Scooby Shoo saying, don't have an engineer tonight then. Oh, goodness me. Centre for gold, surely. Haha, vintage is saying. Into the pits, there comes Gino then. Well, maybe Senna there is something in his future then. So that is the end of qualifying one then. I must admit, it's a bit of a damp squid there, wasn't it, really, as with all the penalties and non-competitors in that one. So, but hopefully it will get a lot more exciting. I can guarantee that then. But as we said then tonight, well, I've said that there's no competitors out on track then. I tell a big porky because it's got a Ferrari and 2 Mercedes up there. Goodness gracious me. I need to adjust my Yoda Specsavers, my viewing devices, don't I? But yeah, ZGS is through then. Out of qualifying then is Cressler T, Styles, Page, Baguette then out of qualifying. And those are traditional drivers that have been knocked out of qualifying. When I say traditional, I mean in terms of 16th, 16th and below. However, we've also lost Swift Almighty, who crashed heavily. I didn't even see that, to be honest, which is absolutely shameful. Spud quickest out by 2 tenths of a second from Iron Knight, and Duncan Dave in third position. Out of qualifying is Cressler T, Styles, Baguette, Smithy Almighty. Sir Dave's got a qualifying ban, so he would not be able to participate in qualifying 2 there for Sir Dave, unfortunately. So we roll on into qualifying 2. We've got 15 minutes then. Remember, we are expecting rain at the start of the Grand Prix itself, haven't we? So that's where the tyre strategy will not be in play here tonight then. It's going to get very interesting. We've only had one wet session. Well, we've had about 1.5 wet sessions, haven't we, over the course of the last few days here. This week it was I think it was Gold, wasn't it, where we had a wet qualifying session. So yeah, we haven't had much rain at all here tonight in the here this week in the United States. I'm not expecting any rain either going into the Mexican Grand Prix either, to be honest with you, because it's a lovely part of the world to be in the late part of the year. And so Mexico is going to be quite an interesting development indeed then. Remember that there is a lot to play for still, isn't there? There are still 7 championships up to play for. Only 1 championship has been decided so far this season. That was Sir Tommy, or young Tommy then, who won the championship in silver in the Japanese Grand Prix last Monday. But no other championships have been won, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I would say fortunately, because I do love it when the championship carries on then, because that's what makes it exciting, isn't it? As they're just coming out of the pits now then, the drivers are. So in terms of excuse me. In terms of the championships at the moment, then I think Gold is going to be going right down to the wire, in my opinion. Gurman took quite a healthy lead after the Gold race there, where Emerson has had 2 races in a row there where it hasn't gone well at all. Then so 35 points gap is now. Gurman leads the World Championship with 4 races to go with 104 points up for grabs. So that's quite a big gap to go. No, and Hammer Time is in the wall, and luckily he hasn't damaged the car. Goodness gracious me. Hammer Time luckily is went straight in there, straight head on then. Lovely helmet design, by the way, from Spudhead. I do like the old pink helmet there. But Hammer Time in the wall, then damaged the front wing. He's going to have to come in the pits, change that nose cone and go back out and set a time then. Otherwise he is out of qualifying, unfortunately. We are losing 4 drivers technically, because Sir Dave needs to retire, but I have a feeling that Sir Dave is probably gone to raid the fridge then. Just watching Scooby Stew, who's just now about to wind up his lap. In terms of the other championships on the line in ALI, of course, in silver, young Tommy has already won the championship, but of course the AlphaTauri are very close to win the Constructors as well. I don't think they can win it in Mexico. I need to get my old book out in a minute, but I don't think they can win it in Mexico, but they can definitely win it in Brazil. In bronze there, well, we had a great bronze race last night, didn't we? But however, there was a lot of shenanigans going on with it as well. Unfortunately, Theo, with no fault of his own, was taken out by a rogue driver, which is a nice way of putting it. Unfortunately, that maybe a cost Theo from clinching the World Championship last night. However, the situation has not changed for Theo. He needs to just score 14 points then to be crowned champion, and all he needs to do then is really get further, and it doesn't matter what Ayrton does then, as he'll be champion then. But Ayrton is good, gave himself a lot of breathing space now. I see with that incredible win there. He should have won two on the trot with Japan, and last night's performance there. So Ayrton's really put into another gear in the last couple of weeks. Good stuff indeed there for Ayrton. ZGS's car feeling a bit floaty on the old rear there, and ZJS has really compromised his exit going down into turn 9 and 10 then. Sir Dave has retired from the session. Good stuff indeed there for Sir Dave. I'm glad that he's read the parish notices. On the back straight now then for ZJS, and of course 2 DRS zones around this circuit. We'll talk more about the circuit later on in the session then. But also, so that is the situation of bronze. The Constructors Championship, I think, will be going at least to Australia. Round 19 Australia is usually the traditional opening round of ALR. It's opened the ALR Championship all but once before, which was round 3, season 3, but also didn't open up this season's championship either, so only twice there Australia has not opened up an ALR season. So potentially that Constructors Championship will be going, I think it's going to be going down to the wire. It's so close in the Constructors in bronze. And then in Cobalt, of course, Hammer Time cannot win it here tonight, but if the card's full his way, and he's really just powering on, he can win the championship in a week's time in Mexico. And I'm sure that's where, isn't that where you mad bro won it last season? I'm sure it is. I'm going to have to get me old archive books out there. 33-2 then for ZJS. So he's the first driver to put a time on the board. Good stuff indeed then. Duncan Dave just coming up at the end of the back straight then. I've been saying hashtag pray for Theo, as unfortunately Theo had a bit of a huge, unfortunately, it was taken out, didn't he? And he had a smash around here, unfortunately. At the time, Theo was not in championship winning position. However, he was on much younger tyres than the drivers around him, and he potentially could have finished on the podium. But it would have been very difficult there, because I think Theo and Silent Shifting both went on for a very unusual strategy. They went for a 2-stopper last night. Duncan Dayfair had to take 2 bites of the cherry there to get that DRS open there. That's going to lose him a bit of time, and only a fraction there. Starburst goes first fastest. Craig R goes 4th fastest there. As they are now just coming across the grid there, thick and fast then. Katz there starting to stop as well. Jinner's car is refusing to turn into turn number 19 there, as he had to take 2 bites to the cherry to get the Aston Martin's nose in there. Out of the final turn then for Jinner. So time runner so far. What about Connects? And Connects starting to stop. I love these corners. And look at this. That is Connects car 23 then just fighting the car through the S as well. Lovely stuff indeed there for Connects who is driving in place for Booty Delight tonight, who unfortunately is not taking part. And I think he had a bit of a problem with downshift there, according to the telemetry. Then you also heard it as well, didn't you? Hammer Time having another button. Cherry Cats unfortunately has invalidated. So I'm going to stick with Connects, I think, then, because Connects is the furthest driver around the circuit. So we're just going to see what he does then as he comes down the back straight. Look at how hot it is out there. As I mentioned before, 2 DRS zones around here on the back straight, which is what Connects is on now then, and also on the start finish straight as well. There's 2 really good opportunities, really good opportunities for overtaking on this circuit. One into turn 1 then, of course. Turn 1 is the big brother of the turn 1 in Austria, really, isn't it? There's a very steep incline into turn 1 there, and it is so steep as well. You can brake so much there. Connect's back end is very wobbly there. I think Connects might be a bit concerned. Joe Lag in 3 as something's gone a bit wrong then, as Duncan Dave has had some issues in the final turn there, as Connects has gone across the line and 5th fastest there. And I didn't feel like a competitive time there for Connects, because his back end was wagging like a dog's tail, wasn't it there? A very excited dog's tail as well, Connects there. So I'm thinking he might need a bit more downforce on the old rear. Unfortunately, though, he cannot do that anymore. He cannot just throw a gurney flap on the end, because that is against the rules these days. Of course, you're in park firmware conditions there. You cannot touch the cars or anything like that, unless you can prove that, unless you've damaged the part, arrows go down with structural failure, and you can prove to the FIA that you can change the part, then perhaps you can there. Arnold goes very fast there. Arnold is looking very strong for Team Haas tonight, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered, wasn't it, for the Haas team in their home event here tonight. I think that the Haas team are going to be very overjoyed with that. And here comes Scooby Stew with the grey and yellow helmet there for Scooby Stew. I must admit, I've never been a fan of the grey helmets. I've never been a fan of grey football kits either. I think Liverpool had a grey football kit in one of the. I think it's actually ironically when they beat Manchester United 4-1 when Dos Santos scored that screamer. But there we go. I like to bring that up. But no, I've never been a fan of the like grey helmets and stuff. I'm not sure why. I think that having like a grey colour scheme or a grey helmet, I'm just really superstitious about grey helmets and stuff. I don't know why. But there we go. We got Spudhead. I am a very big fan of Spud's helmet. Oh, lovely stuff indeed. Then look at that, a beautiful pink design indeed. There. We have got Shifters saying and supporting iConnect and Spud. Big thumbs up for me. Good stuff indeed. Theo's okay. Vintage is just a sprained ego. Spudhead goes third fastest there. A good time indeed then for Spudhead. And of course, he should be safer for the moment. And out of qualified moment there's Jinner, but I know he could do a better time than that there. He's only on the medium tires, of course. Sir Dave is got a quality ban there for being a naughty Dave. And we've also got J-Dog and Kaz, who have not set times just yet either. So that is the state of play at the moment then in this qualifying session there. And we're going to have a bit of a low at the moment with 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. It's down there. I think that's J-Dog who is touring out of the garage, isn't it? It is a car. No, he hasn't. Now he's out of the garage. He's back out of the garage now. Goodness me, that's a bit of Matrix style as well, isn't it there? Maybe he's trying to promote the new Matrix film now. I wonder if J-Dog is actually Neo in disguise. Or, no, maybe I should call him Keanu Reeves then, perhaps then. Yeah, J-Dog then, bit of Matrix there. Good stuff indeed then, of course, Matrix Revolution. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure. I do like the Matrix films, actually. I'm not really too sure about the final one, but there we go. I think I just sat down and watched I'm a bit of a late bloomer in the old film world, I must say. I'm a late bloomer in a lot of things, but definitely the film world. It takes me several years later before I watch a film. I think what film I only just watched Interstellar actually a couple of weeks ago after hearing so much about it. I finally watched it like almost 7-8 years after it was released. It was released in 2014, wasn't it? A cracking film indeed. Then the same with the Matrix. I think I only watched it like almost 10-15 years after it came out. Same with John Wick as well. I love John Wick. Really good film that the old John Wick films are. I'm trying to find where I can watch the third one. I've watched the first two, just trying to find find where the third one is being streamed, and I'll have a bash at that one as well. Love the films and I love a good old shooter. Brilliant stuff indeed. Just watching J-Dog then coming in to the final part of the tourist round. Of course, that also means then, of course, we're almost coming up to December as well. Talking of action, shooter and action films then. Die Hard, whether it's a Christmas film or not a Christmas film, it's going to be really going to be the topic of discussion, I think, for the next couple of weeks. And it certainly is it usually is in my world then, because there's two types of people in this world. People who believe that Die Hard is a Christmas film, and people who doesn't, of course. I'm sure I've heard that quote from many people as well. I think Murphy said that as well, and I'm sure a couple of people from work have said it. I am in the viewpoint that Die Hard is a Christmas film, and I don't even know. And of course, you probably wonder why am I talking about Christmas films. I do not know, to be honest. I don't really. But there you go. It's because we're coming into December, of course, and usually December marks the end of this season it does as well. December does mark the end of ALR's first season on a game, and of course this is the 2021 game. We are coming to the end of the season as well. We have 4 Grand Prix to go after this one there. Spudhead goat shifters then, and I think of course the greatest of all time, which I only found out what goat means a few months ago as well. So yeah, lovely. J-Dog coming down the back straight then. Is he going to be the J-Goat here tonight then for J-Dog? 2 Grand Prix wins there. Of course, he won in fine style in the Azerbaijan and Canadian Grand Prix, didn't he? Then really started to cause some issues there for Hammer Time. He has dropped off the boil a bit late as of late, hasn't he? J-Dog has there. But let's see what he can do. What can he do in Haas's home Grand Prix here tonight in the United States Grand Prix? 4 races to go then. We're going to Mexico in a week's time. Then we're off to Brazil. Then the Australian and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix finished off as well. 7 championships in ALR still up for grabs. So technically 8, because the joint constructors are still on the line as well. The final turn there comes the J-Dog then, keeping him in track limits. He goes 8 fastest. I'm not sure if that's going to be very comfortable for J-Dog. Scooby Stew is Jinner is invalidated this time then, so we're going to leave Jinner to it for now. So currently in the drop zone is Scooby Stew, Jinner and Kaz, and ignore Sir Dave. Of course, we love to not ignore Sir Dave, and it's impossible to ignore Sir Dave, isn't there? But we have to ignore him for the minute then, because of course he has got a quality ban then, accelerating up there as well. I'll change the helmet next week, Sean. Oh dear, I didn't mean to offend you, Scooby Stew. I don't know why. I just don't like. I'm not a fan of like grey helmets or like grey football kits and things like that. I don't know why. I think it's just a really weird superstition. I don't know why. That's the only colour which is the only colour which I feel that I am very superstitious. It's just the only colour I feel that it doesn't bring a driver much or a football team much good luck. But there we go. Oh, by the way, my helmet is a tribute. Oh, okay. Good stuff indeed. Thank you. Good stuff indeed there, Spud. I'd like to know what that tribute is then. That'd be good. Unless it's a tribute to Tenacious D, perhaps, then. Of course, it's their song, which is a tribute to the greatest song in the world, wasn't it? As Jinner is getting a lovely helping dose of slipstream now down the back straight from Starburst, and is quickly who's currently the cream of the crop then in the qualifying session at the moment, and he is fastest at the moment, and does not determine the grid for the top 10. It only determines the grid from 11th down to 13th at this moment in time, which is Scooby Stew, which is Kaz, and Jinner as well. Jinner is the time runner so far. He is going for another bite of the cherry now. Let's see where he can go there as well into 19 and into 20 as well. Look at how low the sun is there. I always ask the drivers about this. I've always asked the drivers whether it's whether the sun gets in his whether the sun gets in the where the sun gets in his eyes or not. Then, sorry, when the driver's sun gets in their eyes or not. They say they don't really notice it, but I notice it. But probably because I'm not really, should be classified as a driver? Perhaps not. Then, and I've just the comments just caught my eye here. Spud saying the tribute is for one of my mates who sadly passed away last month. My whole helmet is nice and pink, and pink to make the girls wink, and that's a very nice tribute. And but then of course, I'll mention that in the race as well. That's a very fine tribute indeed. Then of course, and it's such a shame to hear then about your friends passing there. My condolences to you. I'm very rubbish at talking about very serious things then. But yeah, I hope I hope hope you're all right as well as you can be, really, which is a very silly thing to say, isn't it, really? Because how can you be all right when you lose a friend then? Because especially especially when they're taken away far, far too early in this world. Craig R is currently on a lap at the moment, and 4 laps he's on the soft tyres. Craig R is so he is I think he must be paying for his tyres tonight, Craig R is, because he's not really keen on. He's not very keen on the old using more tyres as well. This is a chance for maybe Craig to have 3 runs in qualifying 3. That's going to be quite an optimistic viewpoint. I don't think you can get 3 runs on this track, then, can you? That's all right. Much appreciated. Thank as Cat saying peace as well. There. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure, Spud. That's the best. I'm really rubbish at talking about serious subjects. I'm absolutely appalling stuff indeed. There, I could talk about a lot of things, but anything. Serious subjects. I do struggle to find the words then. But yeah, it's a lovely tribute then, Starburst and Spudhead, and I'm sure that your friend would very much appreciate that. ZGS then currently on a lap at the moment, and we think we got our 4 slowest drivers in this qualifying session then, and they are Sir Dave and Quali Ban. We have also got Kaz, Scooby Stew, and that is a late entry into the pit lane from ZGS. He's currently third at the moment then. And it's an Aston Martin 1-2 at the moment with ZGS in third position there. Sir Dave out of qualifying. Kaz, Scooby Stew and Winnie also out of qualifying as well. Connect Sen, who is into the top 10. So good stuff indeed there for Connect Sen. And good stuff indeed there. As Kaz saying, can't be me then, is unfortunately he's out of qualified. Unfortunately it is Kaz, unfortunately it is there. But 13th, hopefully it's not unlucky for you, my good sir. And hopefully you get some points then as the race is rolling on then, as qualifying 2 has ended. With what we know are top 10 competitors now for the top 10 shootout for the qualifying session here in Cobalt tonight on a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Starburst quickest then by 6,700 seconds from Jinner and 8,800 seconds from ZGS as well. I think there's ZGS's home Grand Prix. Lovely stuff indeed. Out of qualifying, Sir Dave, Kaz, Scooby Stew and Winnie. Those are the bottom 4 drivers as we now roll into qualifying 3 then for the race of United States as well then. I got a really itchy foot at the moment. As I don't know why. That's why I was pausing at the moment, because I was wondering if I got bit by something. I've just got a really itchy big toe for some unknown reason. As we're now just we're now just getting ready then to start the third and final qualifying session here tonight. And the form of qualifying this season has been like this: 6 pole positions for Brooks, he's not here tonight. 2 pole positions for Duncan Dave, and he was on pole position last time out in the Japanese Grand Prix. So can he get to a second in a row? That'd be fantastic stuff indeed. That Alfa Romeo are aiming for their third in a row as well as Brooksy. Sorry, for their fourth in a row, because Brooksy on pole position in the Russian Grand Prix as well there. So Alfa Romeo very much standing in a lovely ceremony, doing good stuff indeed there. Our pole position this season, Hammer Times had 1 pole position, Iron Knights had 1 pole position as well, along with Star Bus said. So Alfa Romeo going for their 4th pole position in a row then. In terms of the pole positions this season, I think they stand at 8 so far. Absolutely fine start, and Alfa Romeo very good in the old qualifying trim, aren't they? So hopefully they can take it through into the race as well. Troy saying evening, Forza Ferrari. Unfortunately, there's no Ferraris in the top 10 here tonight then. But at least you don't get at least the points are not handed out in qualifying. They're handed out in the race as well. What can Hammer Time do then? As we're on board with him now then. As we've mentioned them before then, this as we are getting into the business end of the championship, then I just remind you then that of course no championships can be won tonight in Cobalt. However, Hammer Time can put himself in a position to win it in the Mexican Grand Prix in a week's time, but he has to score. I'm sure he has to score at least a second, or I think he has to score third or above tonight to put himself in that championship. I think then, as I'm trying to use my big brain time, which is never a good thing to do at all. Is it? Gordo saying Zach's race does not go on then. I think the Zach is actually connects there, I hope. Otherwise I've made myself look like a right fool, which is nothing unusual to be honest, is it? But there we go. I do like making a fool of myself then, really, because I just feel very natural of doing that as well. Hammer Time then, of course, he's no fool, is he? He's the championship leader of Cobalt. He's been very much head and shoulders above the competition, hasn't he? And one thing I'm very disappointed about this season, and this is no one's fault really, it's just been this is just Grand Prix racing. I would love to have seen Hammer Time and Brooksy have a much more of a duel, because I'm thinking out and out pace, they're both very similarly matched, aren't they? I would say no disrespect to the other 18 drivers in this field, but Brooksy and Hammer Time are quite evenly paced. However, Brooksy does seem to just struggle with the old consistency here and there as well. As Gordo said, well done, Sean, then. So I've got it right then. So high five to me then. It's Hammer Time now up into turn 1 as well. Let's go on board the champion, shall we? Or the championship leader. Oh no, goodness me, just like I said, he gets too much on the outside curve there, accelerates too wildly, and that's he hasn't validated his time, but that is a horrific start to this lap then as well. So he may struggle with this then. Yellow flag in the final couple of corners then, but that is just the drivers just queuing up then in the final part of the lap then as well. And now coming in to turn number 6 as well. Becca's asking that is Forza Ferrari is racing. What? No, I don't think so. I think Zach is iConnects. So that's good. That's Gordo's friend. So iConnects currently in the pits at the moment. He's not coming out on track then. Forza Ferrari, a former Grand Prix winner now. I think he won in bronze. Then he won the British Grand Prix back in season 2 or 1. I can't remember what it was now, of course. So yeah, that's so Forza Ferrari, a old school ARR driver. Goodness gracious me. He didn't invalidate Blimey Cetera said as well. Yeah, I don't know how he didn't invalidate that, because he was well off the circuit, wasn't he? Goodness gracious me. Becca saying I was going to say I haven't seen that guy in yonks. Oh well, my word, I don't feel like I haven't seen him in a while either. I was just now watching Spud. I think I can't remember the last race at Forza. I think it was the end of season 3 of bronze, if I'm not very much mistaken. As we're just watching Spud there to the final turn, and it's going to be the first lap on the board then. Oh, and Spud again a bit wild on the old acceleration pedal there, but across the line of 32.349 there. So that's not a bad time at all there. Compare that to last season's pole position, was a 130. 0.327 there, so we're about 2 seconds off the pace then, and that's because of the cars have lost 10% downforce this season, haven't they? And we got Starburst out of the final turn as well, and Starburst second in the World Championship across the line. He is fast, and he needs to be fastest in this session there. I think the other Aston Martin is invalidated this time, indeed he has. What about J-Dog across the line? He's invalidated as well. J-Dog has said luckily they may have time for one more run. Oh, they only got time for 2 more runs, haven't they? One more second. What about Duncan Dave and out of the front turn? And Duncan Dave right in the curve, straddling the curve, and across the line. He goes third fastest head at the moment. And Alfa Romeo going to have to up their game if they want to get 4 pole positions in a row. Then, of course, Brooks, he's had 2 pole positions. Then Duncan Dave had a pole position. Japan not last week. Then. It was last week, wasn't it? Hammer Time's off again then. Hammer Time is making really hard work, isn't he, in this qualifying session? Well, then he's doing a bit of lawnmower in there. Hammer Time is there. I'm waiting for us a bit of frustration there. His teammate connects there. It's just emerged out of the garage. We're just watching Gino down the back straight now, then accelerating away. Let's see what he can do now. I wonder if we can get a lovely slipstream then off Starburst, his teammate then. Aston Martin driver there once again working splendidly well then. And Starburst there just go Galloway, and he does Galloway. That's a fantastic tow in there. The other team that we've seen do that in all of our this season has been the Ferrari team. They've practiced it a couple of times now with Troy and Emerson, which has worked and it hasn't worked, hasn't it? So it's been up and down, that one has. I hope the Alpha Tower aren't tripped over each other then, because there's a car in major peril here. As Hammer Time just trying to get into the garage then. That Alpha Tower needs a bit of paintwork done there, as he looks like he's chipped the Looks like he's chipped the bodywork there. Surfmer saying the forwards of the D-pad masters here. No, he's not then, of course. I think Connects is here, though, because I think that's who we was chatting about. Degenerate's gone third fast then. Aston Martin first, Aston Martin third. Alfa Romeo second, Alfa Romeo fourth for the moment. Goodness me, and that's going to be a lovely, pretty pattern on the grid. Then Duncan Davo has found a bit of time, then that's enough to actually get himself into third position here. It is enough to get himself into third position. He displaces Jenner. Good time there from Duncan Dave. J-Dog is on another lap at the moment. And what about Connects then down the back straight as well? And I think we're going to have to shave my moustache because it's starting to tickle my upper lip then. I would have tried doing Movember, but unfortunately I can't really grow a beard because I'm still waiting to grow into being a man then. So this is a bit of a shame now. I'm not because it's not really a beard at all. I think it's just hair. So I can't class it as a beard, not by any stretch of imagination. There's a slang word for it, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it on the old stream then. We're just watching Connexen, who's out of 17 and into 18 as well then for Connexen. Yellow flags down the back straight. I'm not sure if that's for J-Dog. It is for J-Dog, but it looks like he is crawling back to the pits there. So J-Dog has not set a competitive lap so far, and he's 8/10 of a second away from Jinner. I don't believe that's where J-Dog's pace is at the moment. Out of far turn, and Connects goes third fastest in the Alpha Tauri, and he is now split up that party between the Aston Martins and the Alfa Romeos then. Connects in third position. Gordo is saying, and I reckon Zach can win tonight, but at the same time he may well bottle it then. So I think that Gordo has got a bit of faith in you. I Connects, but I'm not sure how much he's got faith in you, my good sir. So that is the end of this first round of attempted qualifying here. Hamilton has not set a time, nor is both Mercedes, and the other Haas car has not set a time either yet now, so we've still got 4 cars who needs to get a time on the board then. Oh, and Gordo saying in typical Iconix fashion there. Brutal stuff there from Gordo. Into the pits now comes J-Dog. Of course, so J-Dog into the pits then. So we see he's got enough time. He's got 4 minutes to get himself sorted. We have a Connect there down the back straight. Is Connect's going to be able to get back in time then and set another time run then? It's going to be close there for Connect there as he has gone on a slightly different time. And out of the pits now comes at Craigar. He hasn't set a time just yet on the board as he Craigar in the championship. Craigar is having a very solid season. He is 17 points away from Boot Delight and breaking into that top 10 there. Craigar is and ZGS in the last couple of races, but ZGS is the only point behind Craigar as well, but ZGS in the second half of the season has been absolutely incredible. He didn't score a point, ZGS, until I think it was halfway through the season, if I'm not very much mistaken. Was it France that he scored his first points? It was indeed. Well, it was round 6 actually there, because of course we had a couple of races missing at the beginning of the season, didn't we? But he scored 1 point then, but then after that he just went on an absolute tear rate of points there. He scored 5th in Britain, and then a podium in Belgium as well, another 5th in the Dutch Grand Prix, and then 6th in the Russian Grand Prix as well. However, he has the last 2 Grand Prix, he has now had 2 DNFs to his name then, so hopefully ZJS can put that in the back of his mind then, and he can get himself and it can get himself and then to put himself in the back of my mind and get himself back on the points as well. And just watching Craigar just about to start his lap as well. In terms of the least DNFs this season, that title actually goes to Kaz, and he's only had one DNF this season, which is pretty impressive stuff indeed. That was in the Canadian Grand Prix earlier on the season then. So in 10 starts, Kaz has only had one DNF, so that's really good stuff indeed there for Kaz. Absolutely good stuff there. Craigar then coming into the final part of the lap now then, so he goes over the line then. I've missed Iron Knight then, but Iron Knight's invalidated his time right from the get-go there. So Iron Knight then is going to have to cruise around here and then get and just hopefully he's got enough fuel on board, otherwise he's going to be 10th on the grid then for tonight's event then in the United States Grand Prix. On board with Craigar then, and he is just going through left, right through these, look at this, and that's an absolutely incredible piece of racetrack there. I would enjoy it more, but I seem to spin or invalidate my lap, so I get very frustrated around the United States Grand Prix. Duncan Dave will win this this week. The name's too good not to there, as Iron Knight is out of qualifying then. Iron Knight is out of qualifying, and that is a big blow for Iron Knight. He's going to be 10th on the grid, unfortunately. We're down to a 9-car shootout now, and he has gone off in the and Spudhead's retired from the session as well. So Spudhead also out of qualify as well. I was just looking to see where Iron Knight was, but I couldn't see him, to be honest. That's why I went quiet, because I was trying to squint my eyes. Craigar down the back straight, and a big old breaking point for Craigar. Yellow flag in sector 3, and I think that I'm hoping it's just for Spud's car. Well, I'm not hoping it's for Spud's car, because that's a bit harsh. What I meant now, he lost his front wing on his outlap. That's why Spud's out of qualifying. What I meant to say is I hope it is Spud's retirement in the pit lane, but unfortunately Spud is out of qualifying. He has lost the front wing, I've just read, and that is a shame there for Spud. And he is only going to start, well, I say only, he could start at the highest of second now then, but he might be sinking down the order depending on how the track and the drivers perform here. Across the line, Craigar goes, he's 5th fast at the moment there. How is that going to play in terms of the, how is that going to sort itself out there? What about Hammer Time? Hammer Time's only had one pole position so far this season, and I think it was actually the Monaco Grand Prix. He's 2nd fast at the moment, and he's not enough for pole position because there's Starburst on pole at the moment now. Starburst, I should say, on pole position at the moment now. It's just under a 10th of a second between Hammer Time and Starburst, and he does have time for one more run though, doesn't he? Hammer Time does it. Ginner on the final turn, and let's see what Ginner can do. Across the line, he's 5th fast in the Aston Martin there. And he also has time for one more run because the clock is down to 10 seconds as well as the final countdown is on then. As we now start to do the humming of the final countdown by Europe, if anyone knows that song. I hope you do, because it's a classic. Duncan Dave then into the final turn as well, and let's see what Duncan Dave can do out of the final turn then. Across the line, he is 4th fast. He's on the second row of the grid. It's an all Alfa Romeo front, the second row. That is at moment in time. Starburst has lowered the benchmark by 3/10 of a second now. Starburst then really in the ascendancy at the perfect time in the championship. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Starburst there. And he can really be a forward in the side then. Lovely helmet on, by the way. He can really be for the form in the side then for Hammer Time. That's a cracking time indeed. That is Senna saying that his P2, my P2 lap was a 31.9 then. So that just shows how impressive Starburst's time was around here. Out of the final turn then for Craigar. Craigar across the line, and he stays in 7th fastest, but he improves more there. Good stuff indeed that. Jenna 3/10 a second down, and connects unfortunately to validate his time then. What about Hammer Time? Hammer Time's off the circuit. He's lost the whole of the wing nose cone section there. So that is it then for Hammer Time. So Starburst on pole position then for the 3rd time this season. He ends Alfa Romeo's monopoly of pole position in the last 3 races there, and Starburst there be very happy with that indeed then. So he's now joined 2nd in the he's joined he is now, well, he's still 2nd. He's now proper 2nd in the most pole positions he has got this season. So good stuff indeed there for Starburst. He is going to be overjoyed with this result then. That is also his 3rd pole position of his career as well, because this is the first time this season he got pole position then, but he's had 3 in one season. It's like when 2 buses come along at once, isn't it? So good stuff indeed there for Starburst then. And now then can he add to his win tally as well then, and get another Grand Prix win then, which will be perfect for himself and for the Aston Martin team as well then. So Starburst on pole position then for the United States Grand Prix, but it's such a wide turning entry into turn 1, isn't it? So that is really going to entice then Hammer Time as well. But Hammer Time there is, of course, he's going to be focused on the championship, isn't he? While Starburst, albeit Starburst is second in the championship, 63 points behind them, which it's quite a lot at this stage of the championship with 130 points still up for grabs then. However, I wonder if Starburst and Hammer Time might be just thinking about getting their jobs done then. And promotion for Starburst, well, as Hammer Time will probably want to go for the championship and maybe extend that. But of course, that's not exciting, is that? We hope that they battle it out tooth and nail for the Grand Prix in the United States. Right. Starburst is pole position then for the third time this season, and he is now the second highest pole sitter on the season thus far. Hammer Time alongside Monroe, and that's quite a big gap from Hammer Time now. Spud unfortunately damaged his front wing on an out up there, of which Spud would have been very much in it to win it. Duncan Dave in fourth position, well, and all Alfa Romeo road 2. Connects in fifth, Jenner in sixth, Craig seventh with J-Dog eighth, and ZGS and Iron Knight did not set time. We proceed into the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me, look at that, and that is quite a lot of rain as well. So yes, the rain has come then just as it was forecast then when we was talking about it in qualified. So there will be rain to start this event here in Cobalt tonight then. How are the drivers going to prep for this one then? And I know there's going to be a lot of drivers, and it was maybe doing their sunny dance then. I heard about the rain dance, but maybe they was doing the sun dance as well, but that hasn't worked, has it? And that is not good at all. Senator is saying, oh, that's horrendous then. Senator's also saying, you know, I'm done because I'm learning history. It's boring. But I nailed my test anyway. That's definitely that's definitely a good thing to have. That is, I must admit, I was rubbish at my test then. Absolutely appalling. Really was indeed. I'm glad I got over the old school malarkey stuff. College, I much more enjoyed college then. Right then, as we get on with the race itself, then. So yes, it is raining quite heavily up there at the moment. And there is a lot of that's a lot of poles as well. That wet? I think those are wet tires that they on the cars. They are indeed wet tires, and so it is quite heavy rain out here. Then, oh my goodness me, what was I expecting? God bless me, I don't think I was expecting too much then, but. Yeah, this is heavy rain then for the start of the United States Grand Prix. We had a wet start in 2015, didn't we? When Hamilton, oh goodness me, when Hamilton and Rosberg came to blows into turn one, didn't they? Goodness gracious me. Let's go for the great child from from front to back then. Here in the United States Grand Prix, Starburst is third pole position of the season then. Hammer Time then is second on the grid and of course he's thinking about, he's got to do some work, hasn't he, to get himself in prime position for Mexico in a week's time to maybe challenge for the championship. And Spud in third position, Duncan Dave in fourth position, Connects is in fifth with Jenner in sixth. Seventh position is Craig R. Eighth position is J-Dog. Ninth position is ZGSA with Iron Knight in 10th position. Mercedes Haas, and share the spoils of row 4 and 5. 11th position is Winning just outside the top 10. Scooby Stew in 12th position in the McLaren. Kaz in 13th position, and with Sir Dave in 14th. We might be happy with that, where Sir Dave hasn't even turned the wheel and he's 14th. Smithfield Munch had a huge shunting qualifying. He's down in 15th there. Baguette then in 16th position, the Williams. 17th position is Stars with Crustier T in his first full-time outing with the Alpine team there. Hopefully him and his teammate again are much better than they were last week. There was a war of words between those two drivers after the race there when they both came to blows there, but now they're on the same team there. We have to fight for the same goal, and that's trying to get the Alpine car and team there in front of the McLaren team as, and try and repel the attack of the Mercedes. And with Mercedes on really good fine form at the moment there, they've really elevated themselves at the constructors in the past few weeks then in the second half of the season then. Senator saying, no, I know I'm quite smart, but when it comes to learning, yeah, not me then. Although I think that yeah, it depends on what kind of learning it is, though, isn't it? Because if you're not interested in it, it's very difficult to learn, isn't it, really? That is my excuse for why I'm rubbish at a lot of things, like maths and all that kind of jazz, then. But it's now Starburst coming into the turn 20, then. 28 laps around the United States Grand Prix, then. Of course, it's the final race, the final time we're going to be racing in Austin, Texas this season. Then, of course, it'll be on the calendar next season. We are expecting a 24 race calendar for ALR next season as well. So, really looking forward to that, we're going to go to new venues like Portimao in Portugal. We're going to return to Imola. Well, ALR's never been to Imola, has they? But of course, Formula One has that. So we're going to be returning to Imola, and also we are going for the first hour to Saudi Arabia as well. Looking forward to that one. China may also be back on the calendar as well then, to make it a 24 round calendar then. So looking forward to that one. That is going to be a supreme season then as well. Cresta T lighted up on the grid then, 20th on the grid then, and we are now getting going then. Look at those lights are on then as the rain lights are flashing, then there's lights out then here in the United States, and let's go! And let's get going then, and here we go. Starburst is, oh, McLaren's off already. I think that's Scooby Stew off, and look, the wings, the wings gone then in the back, and look at this, there's a virtual safety car. It's hammer time in Starburst. They're fighting tooth and nail then, and someone's lost the whole of the front wing now, and who is it? I think it's Sir Dave, is it? I think I've seen a wingless Alpine. It is Sir Dave. He's got a wing problem already in this one, and Sir Dave is going to be kicking. It's not going to be too happy with that then, is he? 3 positions, Kaz is up then, but Kaz has got a 3-second penalty for a collision with Craig R, and who's that scampering across? It's Craig R, got off the circuit as well. Goodness me, they're not meant to be racing these virtual safety car conditions. They're in a Delta here, and oh goodness gracious me then, that is a bit of a messy start here in Cobalt, but it is raining cats and dogs out there, isn't it? It is appalling wearing conditions out there as well. But Hammer Time is taking the lead then, as we had that is the only racing we've had so far here in Cobalt. Then it's a bit of a messy one then, as we are just now under the virtual safety car as well. 3 positions, Cresta T and Stalls, and of course Stalls there is on a rich run at Fort Monday. He's had 2 last races have been absolutely superb stuff as well. You have to adhere to the Delta. Oh goodness me! And now we're racing. I think that, and Connects there is on the outside, then Connects has got on the outside, he's got off the circuit there, and he's run wide. Then where's Spud? Spud is just behind him as well, and Hammer Time has kept the lead then. ZGS has got past J-Dog as well, and moved himself into 7th position then as well. So it's Alpha Tari. Oh, is it going to be an Alpha Tari? 1-2, Connects on the inside then. Oh no, he has spun the car, and Connects has spun the car there. Goodness me, he's got a lovely pivot there from Connects, but he's down into 10th there. He may even be 11th actually, with that's another car off. It's Scooby Stew off the circuit as well, as I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm not sure the McLaren and Sir Dave came to blow then, but whatever the case may be, they crashed on before they even got through into turn 1 there. Sir Dave there just limping back to the pit set, and Hammer Time set the fast side of the race. This is how wet it was. We've gone from a 32 as a pole position time to a 204, and Kaz in the pits, Iron Knight's in the pits as well. There's a lot of pit stops here, and oh goodness me, so that one completed, and Hammer Time leads there. Second position, yellow flag in 3. What's happening in 3 then? Sir Dave is very gingerly coming into the pits there. Hammer Time leads the race by 6 seconds from Starburst. Second position, yellow flag in 1. Craig R is off the circuit then, and goodness me, that's a lot of grass we're seeing on the nose cone car now, and just shows how saturated it is. That's in turn 1, I think it is. He's trying to get himself back on the grid. Craig R needs to be quick, because otherwise he's going to be disqualified, and luckily he's facing the right way now as well. He'll be so Craig R quite lucky there to get away with that. Iron Knight coming out the pits. Cars, Scooby Stew and Sir Dave also pitting as well on the opening couple of laps, and that is absolutely horrific conditions out there at the moment then. So now just coming down the back straight then. No DRS, and and up there is I think that was a bollard that just left the inside circuit there. So this rain is absolutely appalling stuff. Look at the visibility out there. Now it's through the camera lens as well, which is much better than the eye-line view as we're looking down into the rain now. Connect is now trying to get himself back out through the field there, and he is now up into 8th finish there. Willie in 9th finish there. Stalls in 10th finish as well. He's on the scoring streak at the moment. Stalls is there. He has scored very heavily in the last 2 Grand Prix. Stalls has there. Really on the ascendancy at the moment. Good stuff indeed. Then ZJS then right underneath the gearbox of Duncan Dave before accelerated away then. And then look at how difficult those conditions are then, because ZGS can't even go full throttle through turn 18 at the moment there, can he? Because that's how treacherous these conditions are there. But ZGS in a very solid 6th position, up 3 positions there. Stars and Crusher T. Some positions, and Hammer Thomas now set another fast off the race, and goodness gracious me, he's now trying to race away, and he is still within a second there of Starburst, who is not letting him go at the moment then, going up into turn number 1 then, Spud in third position there, just hanging on then to the back, with Jenner in fourth, Duncan Dave in fifth, ZGS in sixth position mode, and this is the closest battle on track at the moment between the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes cars then. This is going to get very fruitful indeed then. Ayrton saying good luck to Cobalt. We have also got Seller saying, hey Ayrton, no, go away then with China. Paige has got past Crusher T and moved herself up into that position. Paige has absolutely flown off the grid and doing a very good job on there. Up 5 positions, Paige. It's good stuff indeed there. She hasn't turned the wheel before tonight's race. So really good stuff indeed. She did get 5th position, I think, in the silver race a couple of days ago. That was her best race in ALR trim. So very good stuff indeed there for Paige. Stars now all over the back of his teammates Winnie here. I'm wondering if the Red Bull team may do some team orders. And well, we'll find out then. Let's see how this one progresses as well. And we've got J-Dog, who's just dropped down the order, because there they are. There's Connect there. It's just Breeze by then. And look at the background. And look also, Styles Breeze by his teammate Winnie as well. Up the inside there. On the outside, I should say that. Position, the track position, and that's track position there. Iron Knight off the circuit there. I'm not sure if he's hit the barrier there. And just take a look at the front wing there. The M plate on the left-hand side M plate is still there. But what about the right? The right is still there as well. So that is it's all fine and dandy. However, he's lost more time, hasn't he? Unfortunately, then for Iron Knight. Spud has got the first of the 3-second penalties out there at the moment then. Connex's next target is ZJS, so Connex is starting to fight his way through the field, getting a bit wide, then Hammer time. It's just pounding in those fastest laps at the moment there. As I said, is not happy about China being on the calendar for next season, but that is, I'm not sure if that is set in stone just yet, but that is definitely the rumour very much about next season's calendar in ALR. Scooby Stew's got a 3-second penalty as well, unfortunately for his efforts, and Smithy Almighty is caught right to the back and crushed your tea quite quickly here. Look at how much water's on the AstroTurf, they gotta stay away from the green AstroTurf, otherwise you will be in the steam the exit. I wonder if that's what Iron Knight thinks. So a big old chunk of AstroTurf for the exit at turn 9 then. Up into turn 1 as well then. There is Crusher T. This is first full-time drive tonight then for the Alpine car. He's in 12th position then. He's had a very good start to this season. He is to this race, and he's up a very solid 6th position there. Scooby Stew has gone on to intermediate tyres then. We'll see how that one plays out for Scooby Stew, but at the moment now he is not setting the world alight with those times then. Having said that, he is catching on cars at the moment now, so we'll keep an eye on that one, I think then. So we're saying good luck all as well. Senator saying Red Bull looked good. Oh no, Scooby in a pickle again. Yeah, and she was sandbagging because she finished in front of me. Senator was saying, I think that was in response to Paige there. Oh goodness me! I look at this and what's happening here? Connects is on the inside, and ZGS has gone made up 2 positions there. I think that as Duncan Dave is maybe losing 2 positions here. He has lost 2 positions. Duncan Dave has but Connects is on the outside as well. This is going to get very very close indeed. There, Kaz is a 3-second penalty there for his efforts. So Connects is now up into 5th position there. He's flying back through the field there and looking very strong at the moment there. Connects this as Smithy Almighty has just got past Crusher T as well and moved up into 12th position there. Crusher T dropped down to 13th. We had a really good opening couple of laps there, but Crusher T is now falling back down the order, unfortunately then. Lap 5 of the race set here in United States as well. So Paul and condition there. We are expected to drive the ZJS is out of Squirrel. It's had a very much a swapperoo there. Now the final turn, and then Connects is through up into 5th position there, passes the Mercedes driver. Jobs are good, and then but CJ having none of that as he goes back up the inside. Crusher T is dropped down the order, but Craig is oh goodness me, and Craig R is off the circuit. And where is Craig R then? Where is Craig R? He's at the exit of turn 19. We had a huge shunt with Nightwing and Dan Murphy there in the in gold a few seasons ago. That Crusher T is coming into pits. Yes, there's I wonder if there's a collision there with Craig R and Crusher T. That maybe I'm being a bit suspicious. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on that one. Then maybe it was just the wrong place, wrong time. And Crusher T into the pits on the intermediate tyres. And so those are 2 drivers on the intermediate tyres, and it does look still quite wet out there. But I'm wondering, I was quite surprised to start on the wet tyres, to be honest, because I thought it was borderline intermediate tyres that the intermediate tyres I think would have done enough, and they can shift quite a few litres of water, can't they? But safety car is out now. Then of course they clear the wreckage of Craig R, who's out of the Grand Prix, and unfortunately then so that's a shame now for Craig R, and Hammer Time, who was trying to pull away then, is now being reeled back in by Starburst then, but the front two then, the two that are trying to get promoted into bronze for next season are kind of at the moment, they would rather been happy with a straightforward dry race, I think that, but this is anything but straightforward at the moment with the safety car coming out. So two drivers on the intermediate then. It is Crester T and it is Scooby Stew as well then. We got 4 pet drivers with penalties, but then they're all 3-second penalties. It is Scooby Stew. Oh my goodness me, Jenner's got a drive-through penalty there, and he did have a 3-second penalty. Now it's a drive-through as well, which he cannot take until the safety car comes in, and I think that may have ruined his race then, so he is going to be kicking himself at Hammer Time into the pits then, and Starbust into the pits as well, but Spud is staying out then, and yes, remember, what race was it? I can't remember either now, good gracious me. Was it the Japanese or Singapore Grand Prix where the driver stayed out on the wet tyres, didn't they, in silver? I think it was in silver, wasn't it there? And some drivers came to pits, some drivers didn't, but that's why though, because it's a different race completely, because it's intermediate tyres there for Hammer Time, it's wet tyres for Starburst, and goodness me, and it's intermediate tyres, and it is everyone else on the intermediate tyres. I think the Starburst may have made a mistake here, perhaps, and it's everyone, oh gosh there, as Jenner just getting in front of Connector as well. However, Jenner will not be there for much longer because of course that he does have a drive-through penalty. Starburst is staying out on the wet tyres, and I'm wondering if that's a mistake then. There's a Page in the pits out for the Williams team. She stops on the marks there. There are the intermediate tyres, the green marked intermediate tyres. Winnie coming down the pit lane as well. Cressler T, who it's already on the intermediate tyres head, and I think that Scooby Shoo really felt that the intermediate tyres were the way to go, and I think he might have called absolutely supremely well there. So he's going to be in on the well, he's already on the intermediate tyres, isn't he? Iron Knight coming in the pits as well. Sir Dave has stayed out then, so Sir Dave is not keen on these wet tyres at the moment now, so that's an interesting development there for Sir Dave. Iron Knight there, who is just coming out on the intermediate tyres as well. So only 3 drivers have stayed on the intermediate tyres, is Spud and Sir Dave had, whilst Starbust has stayed on the wet tyres then. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then. So Starburst has on a 3-second penalty. Jenner has a drive-through penalty at the moment. So there he is. Look how dry it's all of a sudden becoming then in this race as well. And the puddles are almost gone there. So it's now just a wet track then. Of course, it's, the intermediate tyre is such a magical tyre, isn't there? It's the operating window. It's absolutely incredible there. It's completely different to a dry Pirelli tyre, because of course the Pirelli tyres are very much it's very much a box of magic, isn't it? Really, there is you have to have it in a certain window there to really get them to work there, but the intermediate tyres can basically work from almost a dry track to almost a saturated track there, and now as well I'm surprised everyone started on the wet tyres, but maybe they was going for safety now. As the Spud Head on the wet tyres then, with Starburst on the wet tyres as well. Sir Dave also staying on the wet tyres then. Is Spud going to come in the pits? I think he's going to stay out for the moment then, but he may struggle at this moment in time, but this is going to get very interesting indeed then. And so Starbust is now coming to the pits. I wonder if that was a mistake there from the Aston Martin mechanics then. I think it was a mistake then, so I think the Starbust is not going to be too happy. A communication error for the Aston Martin team, and that's an extra stop then for Starbust. He's going to lose an abundance amount of time. He is third in this race and second if you count the pit, if you don't count the pit stop set in terms of where everyone is relatively to everyone else in this race said. If you ever got heads and tails of that, then I'm very proud of you, because I don't even know what I meant on that scenario. But Starburst out and he's in the intermediate tyres, and Sir Dave a day late and $1 short, but he is coming into the pits now, and Sir Dave and he's going to be changed onto the intermediate tyres as well. Spud is sticking to his guns here, and Spud is staying on the wet tyres. He's the only driver to do so. And to be honest, if the other drivers if the other 16 and 17 odd drivers are on the intermediate tyres, I do fear for Spud Head here then. But however, he may have caught a blinder. So Sir Dave now coming out of the pit said on the intermediate tyres there, well, I heard that the rain was going to be stopping about 15-20 minutes into the race, or was it meant to be getting a little lighter? Whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be, then that is going to really be a major factor in this Grand Prix here tonight then. So one retirement in this race, and we're on lap 8 out of 28 here. Craig Hart, the only driver out of the race, said Spudhead leads the Grand Prix, but is yet to stop. He is still on the full wet tyres. Everyone else on the intermediate tyres. Hammer Time is second with Jitter in third, but Jitter has a drive-through penalty. Aston Martin have had an absolute nightmare with the safety car out, with the safety car coming out, because Starbus also being put on the wrong tyres as well, so a major blow. Fourth position is Connector, potentially could be a Alpha Tauri 1-2 at the moment, at the end of this one then. ZGS in 6th, 5th position, Duncan Dave in 6th, J-Dog 7th, Stars is 8th, Baguette in 9th position, Winnie in 10th then. Those are the top 10 point scoring places at this moment in time. Smithy Almighty in 11th, then bouncing back from after a horrific shunt in qualified. Crusher T in 12th position. Starbus having an extra stop there, and he was put onto the wet tyres to get round in the intermediate. It's a major blow for the Aston Martin crew and himself. Scuba Stew in 14th position there. 15th position is Iron Knight. 16th is Cass. 17th is Sir Dave. That is the grid then for this race, and I'm hoping that the safety car will be in then. Sir Dave is just a couple of quarters back then, and I'm hoping the safety car will be in then. It's going to be a very late call, but I think we're going to have one more lap beyond the safety car. We are going to have one more lap beyond the safety car. And, Spud is now coming to the pits. And so Spud then, I think, was, now Spud's in the pits. So he's going to come in there and has to slow down to 80 kilometers an hour. And I think that the track is quite dry now, isn't it? So I think the Spud really needed the safety car to come in earlier rather than later, because now the track conditions have really gone into the favour of the intermediate tyres. So everyone is now on the intermediate tyres. And Spud now changing on to the intermediate tyres. And he's coming out of the pits. So he's going to be dropping all the way to the back of the Crocodile, unfortunately, Spud that is. So he has got some overtaking to do that if he wants to get back onto the podium at the very least then, but that is going to be quite a feat then. He does go with a white line there, Spud there, but luckily the FIA must not have been paying attention because he doesn't get a penalty. Spud there, who is down in 70th position now then, so yes, he has still lost a lot of positions here. Hammer Time leads then with second position. Jitter Connects in third position. Connects is a sub tonight, isn't it? Hammer Time's normal teammate is not here tonight, so I'm wondering how that's going to play then. Is Connects going to help his teammate tonight then? We know his teammates in the championship battle. Is he just going to go and get his first Grand Prix winner there? I know what, I have a feeling I know what Connects is going to do there, because he's a competitor, isn't he? Is he going to challenge Hammer Time? Potentially, but of course that remains to be seen there. As teammates in Formula 1 is such a funny word, isn't it, really? Because at the end of the day, you're out there to beat your other 17 competitors, aren't you there? And you don't really want to help your competitors, do you? But Hammer Time at least this race about Jitter in second, but as we said that Jitter has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car Delta, unfortunately. Of course, before you catch up to the safety car, you have to adhere to the Delta. Lap 8 then, so we're now safety car should be in this lap, and there it is, right on cue. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap then, and we are going to have 20 grueling laps as well. And I thought the rain was on that camera shot I just did now. I thought the rain has stopped then, but it's still sprinkling quite lightly out here, isn't it? As that Hammer Time then is about to get going then in here in the United States Grand Prix. But look how light it's getting then, so we might be seeing the slick tires come into play later on this race as well. We'll find out then. So all we can do, good things comes to those who wait then, and I'm sure that that's a Guinness advert, isn't it? Potentially. Right, there's Bert Mylander. Hammer Tom, I think, is gone, has he? No, he hasn't there. Hammer Tom there does like to slow the cut pack right down, doesn't he? As I'm wondering if that's because he's very much, I wonder if it's similar to the Red Bull days, of where Red Bull liked to have a better downforce package there, where it was quick through the corners, but it was very slow on the straights. Hammer Time is leading the way there. Second position is Jitter, and Connects there is running into the gearbox now, as we are back racing. Yellow flag in sector 3, as what's happened there in sector 3. Kaz is off the circuit. Dave almost spit it off, and Spud has taken the initiative as well. Jitter is trying to squeeze Connects, and Connects is off the circuit, but he's through nonetheless. Jitter trying to play hard ball with Connects, hard ball with Connects there, but Connects there with none of it there. And Starburst is dropping down the order. Starburst that is had a bit of a nightmare start here. We're on board now with Manu, joint second in the championship, along with himself and Paris. Paris is not here tonight. This is a golden opportunity for Starburst to really pull away from Paris in the battle for second in the championship there. But of course, both Paris and Starburst, I think, would still be having one eye on the championship. However, with Hammer Time already second and a half in front, the battling field here is getting more and more difficult as well. Here's Spud now. He's got to try and get back through the field as well. We're on board. Look at how much easier the track conditions are. They're still perilous, but they are much easier than what they were a few laps ago. Constantine on a bit of an awful run out of turn 10, and you can tell for that awful run because here comes R9. He's going to have free down the back straight. He is going for free, but Crusher T's got quite the top end speed because he's now back in front of both. But can he slow the car down? I don't think he can. Then yellow flag into sector 2 and 3 because that's a car off. That's one of the Alfa Romeo cars. It's Duncan Dave who's off the circuit. Oh no! And Duncan Dave is in major peril here. And I think, I'm not sure if he's damaged the car or not, but getting stalls that are also locking horns as well. And we've also got Crusher T and Kaz there. And there's scraps all over the show here. Stalls dropping down. Then it's Winnie's back in front of him as well. And there is look at Winnie's Stalls is dropping on the order. He's got damage to the front nose cone here, and they're all coming through as well. Goodness me, Axel's really ramped up now. Into the pits comes Jenner. ZGS in the pits as well. Duncan Davis pushing Scooby Shootout as we come out the final corner. Look at the cars at medium tires there for ZGS, and goodness gracious me, that's very early. I'm not sure if those figures way too early because there's still a lot of water on the circuit at the moment there. Duncan Dave at the inside, Starburst is on the outside there, just like his teammate Jinner in the last lap there. He's also been pushed out wide as well. Oh gosh, now this is, oh my goodness me, he's done it. That's fantastic. He just forced his way through. Starburst has got off on the runoff there, and he's kept the position there. I'm not sure if that's all bona fide or not, but he carries on anyway. Wow, that's incredible race now from Spud and Starburst. Now, how do they get both through there is beyond me. Really impressive stuff indeed. That as it is very light rain still here in a circuit of the Americas. And here is Connects. Connects is going for the lead. Then it's going to be an Alpha Tower 1-2, but this is not the way that Frank's toss would have wanted it. Connects is up the inside. He's going up the inside. He's going for a lead here in the USA. And Hammer Time would have been hoping that he'd be out over there. He would have been having a quiet, very relaxing drive, but he's having anything but with this rain. And now with his teammate pushing. Connects. The Kaz is now on the outside. Crusher T and got through as well. Sir Dave then right behind his teammate now as well. Crusher T is from down the order there. I'm not sure if Crusher T has got the wet setup. It's a contact, and both Alpha Taris are out of the race. Both Alpha Taris have gone into each other. Oh my goodness me, it's a safety car. Hammer Time is out of the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me, it's a Red Bull fiasco, and there's an Alpha Tauri fiasco here, and he Connects has taken out his teammate. Then this is dramatic scenes here in the United States Grand Prix. Oh my goodness gracious me, J-Dog leads the United States Grand Prix. Connects said, oh my goodness me, the Alpha Tauri mechanic said, I was talking about Frank's toss and not being a bit concerned about this. He is going to be furious, isn't he? Oh my goodness me, that's dry tires. There's dry tires on a number of cars now. Oh my goodness me, this race is absolutely just completely turned on its head here. Kaz has got a 5-second penalty for crashing with Sir Dave. Sir Dave is pointing in the wrong direction there. He needs to go that way, sir. Oh dear. Oh my goodness me, that is absolutely a lot of people on dry tires. I'm confused. Oh, look at that! And Crusher T trying to slow the car down. I think it's too wet for the dry. Because look at the spray off the back of the cars here. I think that it is. It's too wet for the dry tires. I think Page Baguette is giving a track position. ZGS Connects is on the dry tires with Starburst. Crusher T also on dry tires as well. The search Russian Jeepers, how many places Page moved up, and she was up to 6 at one point, but unfortunately she's back down the order. German saying drama. Becca said Jeepers, and Serious Russia said, that's a spicy meatball. Goodness gracious me. Big Dog Pitt is Serious Russia was saying. I'm not sure if we should pit, to be honest. I'm a little confused when there's drivers on the dry tyres here. Sir Dave is getting a bit too close there with Page there. I think that he needs to overtake Page. He does overtake Page, and so Sir Dave is the last driver apart from Stalls that on the intermediate. Dave has got no wing now. Goodness me, Dave, you need a front wing, my good sir. So I think that he needs to get into the pits pronto. Then now too wet still. Then Serious Russia saying I think that is the case. It is still too wet out there at the moment now. Sir Dave, I would suggest you pit, my good man. So J-Dog leads the Grand Prix. Last time he won, the last race he won was in the Canadian Grand Prix. Lights it up here in North America, doesn't he, J-Dog? Does. And he would love to get a Grand Prix win, and this is a golden opportunity to do so. Then incredible stuff. Then got excited. Serious Russian said, "Hammer time now is not amused at one iota." That so unfortunately the Alpha Tower drivers have taken connects there, went to the back of Hammer time, didn't he, out of turn 19 there, and unfortunately it took Hammer Time out, and it connects us down into 13th position now. Maybe a bit over eager there for Connects, unfortunately. And yes, and so we was talking about it at the time that but Connects there, unfortunately. Look, and there's another driver on the dry tyres there. Is the mechanics telling them that it is dry enough for the slick tyres out there? Everyone is in the pits here. It's still wet out there. I am absolutely bewildered by this, by a lot of the drivers, but it must be dry enough for the slick tyres, because everyone is coming in for the slick tyres here. Goodness gracious me, then action here in the United States Grand Prix as well. And yes, and indeed then I'm surprised that yes, Sir Davis on the slick tyres as well. Only tyres on the inters. And the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped. And we're on board with J-Dog. The rain has stopped then. So J-Dog, Winnie, Smith, Almighty, Iron Knights and Stars are all on intermediate tyres. But look, there's no rain on the camera anymore on lap 12 or 28 here. Oh no. And I'm wondering now then, is Baguette is potentially the leader here. That is, she is the top runner on the slick tyres here. She's on the medium compound tyres here. Look at how much the water's evaporated off of the circuit here. Oh goodness gracious me, then. Wow, an incredible race that as well. And wow, this is absolutely turned into a mega Grand Prix, hasn't it? All of a sudden, lap 12 out of 28. Yes, I think that the intermediate, I was questioning it, but that just shows how wrong I am, doesn't it? Because I thought it was too wet, and the track is completely changed. It's so hot here in Austin. Look, it's completely dry out there now. Oh my goodness me. So I think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap then, and we'll be back racing. Hammer Thomas left the session. He's going to be absolutely furious with that, isn't he? Oh goodness gracious me, safety car is in at the end of this lap then. I'd say it was looking very strong for both Alpha Tauri as well, as Alpha Tauri was having a 1-2, and they could have really put themselves in such a strong position in the Constructors World Championship as well. So it's a double whammy for Hammer Time, and Hammer Time will not lose the lead in the championship, of course, then, but this is really put a cat amongst the pigeons in terms of championship. Starbus really needs to get some maximum points here to inflict major problems then for Hammer Time in a week's time in Mexico. I don't think Hammer Time can win the championship in Mexico. He still can win the championship in Mexico, because I think he could get third. I think if he gets third, or I think if he can get third or second, he will be the champion if Paris or Starburst does not score points, and they're all in the pit set. And Haas have got to double stack as well, and for the first time in her career, if I'm not very much mistaken, Paige Baguette leads the Grand Prix. There she is then, and she leads then with Starburst is now in the third. That is a golden opportunity for Starburst then at the inside, then going into turn number 1 then. At the moment, Starburst needs to get some major points as well, but he's on the soft tyres. Crusher T on the soft as well. Baguette leads. Starbus in second position. ZJS in third position there. Fourth is Crusher T. Scooby Stew in fifth position there. We've got Jenna now, who is recovering after a drive-through penalty earlier on this race then. Getting very close indeed there. Spud also trying to recover as well in the Alfa Romeo, and he's right behind Kaz as well. So Dave just outside the points in 11th position then. J-Dog in 12th, 13th is Winnie, 14th is Smith and White, R9 is 15th, Styles in 16th position as well. The penalties are coming thick and fast. Remember, the penalties were very crucial last time out then as well. Now into turn number 9 then, or 10 I should say. Search for the same pit now. He was right the first time, indeed he was, and there's me questioning it. I should never question a driver so far at time. Starburst has taken the lead of the United States Grand Prix, and this has really gone into the hands beautifully well for Starburst. As it was looking very doom and gloom not too long ago then. Gone Page as well. Serious Mushroom is saying that she is down in second, but she's on medium tires, so similar to Ayrton's strategy here from last night. Remember remember all Ayrton's competitors are Theo. Oh, contact, jitters around then. A 3-second penalty for Scooby Stew as well. Connects on the inside. That's Dukanko. Oh, sorry, Duncan Dave. Contact off the track skirt. Oh my goodness me. And Crestier T and Scooby Stew have gone to blows there. And Starburst has set the fastest up for the race. And sorry, Dave up to 9. Fantastic. Connects now with the 4th position then, so he's recovered quite nicely. Connects us back on board now with ZGS and Page a second. ZGS in third, connects in 4th now. 5th is Duncan Dave. That means that Kaz, where's Dave? Dave is on the inside. Oh, Giddy's he got chucked off at the top of the hill now, Sir Davis. He's going to be waving his fist, isn't he, Sir Davis? He's not going to be liking that one. J-Dog is out in 10th position as well. As Scooby Stew just coming in the pits as well. Absolute action so far. This is what Theo and what Science Shifter would like to have happened last night. Clear track now for Starburst. He now needs to do qualifying times around here so he can pull away then with the medium runners who are going to be on slower tires. And as the medium runners, I would have as a guess then trying to go to the Grand Prix from here on in. Well, it's the soft runners then. The only difference, the only caveat here is that you do not have to come in the pits game because you've used the wet tires then, so do not need to go for 2 times over dry tires then, so that might be the only caveat. But soft tires over half distance in the race, goodness me, I can feel Gurman's life is ebbing away then, is unfortunately, as Gurman may have a very busy night then. The head admin a Cobalt. Oh my goodness me. We've got 2 more teammates then now starting to get very close for coverage. Franz Toss maybe ripping his hair out, or what he has left, and Fred Vasseur may be also having to grow some hair to rip some hair out as well. As now his 2 charges in this race of Spud and Duncan Dave are getting too close for comfort here. Oh my goodness gracious me, lad. We got lovely sunshine out here now. As Page is now 5 seconds away from Starburst, and I think I just seen DRS has been enabled then for the first time in this race. Spud up the inside. Is he going for track position? He is going for track position. Duncan Dave is not making it easy then. ZGS is out of the race. And that is a huge smash then, and that's in the firing line. It's not a safety car. It's a virtual safety car here in this race at the moment. Action all the way then here in this one. I think that the virtual safety, the drivers, Starburst is going to be very happy with this, as with the virtual safety car, not budging up the cars. So technically, you're going to keep your position then. Crusher T, who's down in 60th position, well then having a bit of a nightmare debut tonight in Alpine. Now he's looking so good, wasn't it, now for Crusher T, but he's been involved in 1 or 2 shenanigans at the moment now. Senator just said Page P2, indeed, she is doing a good job indeed then. So virtual safety car then, so everyone has to adhere to the delta. How long is this virtual safety car going to be out for? Starburst leads them by 6.5 seconds, but do ignore that interval gap for the minute then, because it's going to go up and down then, because of course they are approaching the timing sections a bit later on. Now we're going. And Starburst has got away nicely then, and he is, as you can see, the gap has come back down to 4 seconds at the moment then. Just take a look, Sir Dave is back on the case of Kaz, and then here comes Winnie, who's now all over the back of J-Dog. Iron Knight then on the inside, passes Smithfield Mighty, moving up into 11th position now. Smithfield Mighty dropping down in it to 12th at this moment in time then. Senna said, I hope not, I'll never hear the end of this for the rest of my career. That she won then. Oh, it's Smithfield Mighty almost into the back there. Goodness gracious me. Page is a legend at avoiding pens too. It will be a great finish there from Serious Mushroom. Now Stars, who's been on a great couple of races, hasn't he? There, he's very on fine Vettel at the moment there, and that's quite happy because of the fact that Vettel won his 4 championship with the car that Stars in at the moment. And the Red Bull machine, he is now out of turn 20 as well. But Smithy's got a very quick car underneath him going into the back straight there, and just on board the nose cone here. Woody as J-Dog has just launched off that corner absolutely beautifully well indeed. The gap in the front is now 6 seconds out. And I think Starburst is going to go soft, isn't he then? So he's going to go, I'm sure he's going to go for soft then for the end of this race then. Whilst the medium runners are not going to pit again, I would hazard a guess at this stage then. But again, anything can happen. What about safety cars? That's really going to put a curveball on things then. So I think with no safety cars, I'm sure that is how they're going to approach this one. Winnie having a look then. Connects has dropped down into third there because Spud is now gone up the inside, and now Spud is past. Connects another due third position. Spud on a similar strategy to Starburst at the moment there, where he's very much putting his toe down. And it's Connects up the inside then, and he's back past it. He's gone in deep though. In a but right back underneath him, and he's back into a third position there. As cool as you like there for Spud, and Connects almost off the circle there and keeping it there. Goodness me, he's jumped over that sausage curb there. That's not going to help his poor back there for Connects there, but very much keeping it on the circuit just about that. Good control there. Sir David still half a second away at the moment, so he's very much keeping up with Kaz at the moment. Sir David in the Alpine car out of the final turn then for Sir David. DRS is open, and here he comes, and he's going to be attacking Kaz down the start finish straight as well. Nice overhead view of Vincent saying, I do love the helicopter views. Oh my goodness me, where's he going? And he's gone right up there. Sir Dave is just took it upon himself and flung it in there, and he's taken the position there. Iron Knight has just got past J-Dog as well, and up into 10th position there. J-Dog dropping down to 11th. J-Dog's strong for pace at the moment there. Smithfield Multi has just got past Stars as well, I think. Now, no, he hasn't. I'm just talking absolutely hogwash then. So carry on. Stars head all over the back now of Smithfield Mighty. J-Dog is really struggling at this stage of proceedings. That is, he hasn't got the pace at the moment out there. Spud is now all over the back of Peters here, going down the back straight, and here they are then, and there is Spud then. He takes second position. Now Starburst is going to Starburst got a 7.5 second advantage then, and so I think that Spud is going to really have to do exactly what Starburst is doing then, and just put his toe down and do some qualifiers now. No, just going down the back straight once again, because J-Dog is really, look at that, and he's a bit of a boat down there, isn't he? J-Dog is the moment, and look at, we've also got Styles on the outside as well. Sir Dave's got a 3-second penalty. Styles on the outside, and he likes to do it in style. That's an absolute stylish manoeuvre there. We have got, Connects has got past Page, and it moved up into third position. I got it, second time there, third position there. So Page is, but Page has got back in front there. I'm not sure how, goodness me, maybe I blinked, he was too early. Oh my word there, and now Connects up the inside, and he is through, passes Page, and job's good, and Page dropping down to fourth position there, but this is still a strong race for Page then, of course, because Page I don't think has to stop again, nor does Duncan Dave, nor does Connects, nor does Jinner. So all the soft tires I reckon will need to stop again this race. I'm sure they'll need to stop again. I'm going to bet my bottom dollar on that they're going to stop again, which I'm probably going to lose that bottom dollar, but there we go. Jinner's got another penalty as well then, as Jinner then, the penalties are going to really hurt, I think, these drivers later on this race. And goodness me, using the AstroTurf as well. You ain't allowed to be out there too often there, otherwise you're going to get more penalties. They Crusher T back in the pits, and major problem then for the second Alfa Romeo driver. He is out of the race there. Crusher T is, and unfortunately that may cost Alpine a minus. Remember, there is minus points if you pit and quit, of course, and you cannot pit a healthy car in ALR. And Connects is flying out there at the moment. There is the fantastic pace there for Connects there, but he's got up the inside there, lunging up the inside, and now Spud is back in front, and this is going to get very interesting indeed then. Now Connects there has got back fast, and he's parked in front there as well. Great stuff indeed. And now then it's Spud. I think the Connects has got the pace here tonight there. He just needs to make sure he keeps it, needs to make sure he keeps on the island, but he is quick at the moment there, Connects is tonight. And now as Spud is coming into the pits there, so Spud, he's got oh my gosh, that's a humongous penalty for Spud. I think that I'm sure that I think he's out of the race, Spud is there. So Spud out of the Grand Prix. I'm not sure if that was due to the penalties that he received there or whatnot. I can't even see the penalties done, but Spud out of the Grand Prix. Connects is now in second position. Page in third. Duncan Dave in fourth. Jenner in fifth. Sir Dave in sixth. And Kaz is still on the case of Sir Dave Fed in sixth and seventh position. On lap 19 out of 28. A virtual safety car, as we have got why have we got a virtual safety car about it? Because everyone seems to be touring around. I'm not really sure why we got a virtual safety car, but we have indeed. Oh, is that Iron Knight is just ventures off the circuit there. He's got a 3-second penalty. Iron Knight has this good opportunity now to look at the penalty situation. And 3 seconds for Connect said. No penalties for Page Baguette or Starbus, and that is impressive. Somebody, Duncan Dave, 3 seconds. Jinner's got 9 seconds. Sir Dave, 3 seconds. Kaz, 3 seconds. Winnie, no penalties either. Great stuff from Winnie. Smith Almighty, 3 seconds. Stars, no penalties. Good stuff. Iron Knight, 6 seconds. J-Dog, no penalties. Scooby Stew, 6 seconds as well on that 19 out of 28 here. So the soft tires are going to, the soft tires going to come in. Am I thinking about this too much perhaps? And I don't know that. Oh goodness, gracious me then. But let's see how this one goes on. Starburst had the virtual safety car finished out quite. Oh, and that might be why then. Iron Knight has lost the whole of the wing section there, and that's why we had a virtual safety car, I think then. So I got there in the end. Iron Knight there, unfortunately, had a bit of a nightmare race today in the Haas car, which is such a shame now. And he is going to really need a safety car now. So I'm wondering if the soft runners are going to try and stay out then until the end of this race. Then perhaps I didn't even think of that. Goodness me, that's why I'm not a race driver. Fantastic stuff indeed. So we'll see how this one progresses then. If that is the case, then but otherwise Starbus is going to have to pit roundabout now if he wants to get the optimal strategy for these soft tires. Then because he'll have 8 laps on the soft tires, another 8 laps on the soft tires, then, and the gap is coming down quite quickly at the moment. And is Connects in second position. Baguette in a solid third position. Superb stuff there. Iron Knight's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well. Then it's been a bit of a, and Iron Knight's retired from the race. Right, we've had 3 drivers that have just come into the pits and retired there. That's not great, is it? Unfortunately, just watching stars then all over the back then, yellow flags all over the show here tonight then, and I'm not sure what is occurring out there, but anyway, it's getting very difficult indeed then, and now we're down to 12 competitors in this race. Starbus is still leading by 7.3 seconds at the moment. Now, Connect there is going to be coming out and quite quickly now. The final stage of this race that I would hazard a guess that now down the back straight then. Kaz is gaining on Sir Dave then, but I'm not sure if he's going to have enough straight. He doesn't have enough straight at the moment then. He's going to have a great scrap at the moment. Sir Dave and Kaz are. Look at this, and Smithfield Mighty is now dropped down behind Stars, and Stars on a rich run of form as I mentioned earlier on this stream, and he's doing a great job indeed then. Fantastic stuff then. Spud saying I got a 13-second penalty because I spanned the pits, but saved that. So Spud they're getting very frustrated by that one. Search for say Duncan Dave was my pick still. He's got this. Then he's got this. The potential of Page win this race. Go on from Beck as well. Star's got a 3-second penalty. Sir Dave is into the pit set. So Sir Dave is going into the pit set after doing a couple of laps on the soft tires. Same with Winnie in the pits as well. And so yeah, that's what the driver's doing. If she wins, we party at Shorten said, oh gosh, they're party in the ambulance, oh no, and Smithfield Mighty is into the pit wall there, oh dear, and Smithfield Mighty then, oh goodness me, he's had a bit of a rotten day. Both McLarens, who have really had a great week here in Kota, haven't they, to say the very least. Had 2 Grand Prix wins for the McLaren this week, of German and of Ayrton. However, tonight it's not going too well at all. Page is going to be looking over his shoulder now, because we've got Duncan Dave and Jenner now starting to bear down then on the back of the Williams driver now then. Goodness gracious me then. Oh goodness, this is going to be very interesting indeed then. And of course, if it is a party at mine, then the only rule is you bring your own drink then. But of course, if you do come as well, make sure that you also bring me a ham sandwich and maybe a bottle of orange soda. Jenner on the back of Duncan Dave and Baguette at the moment then. So this is the battle for the final podium position at the moment. Connects has made a mistake, or Starbus had an absolutely monstrous lap on this lap, because he is really he's really pulled out a second there, and he's staying out then. So I think Starbus is just going to carry on then. Oh, goodness me. Already gathering my spirits up, laugh out loud. Oh, that penalty though. Gathering my tap water up as we speak as well from Becca. Of course, Becca is a prime athlete, isn't she? And look at this enemy. Now got Duncan Dave, who's now up in a third position now. I think the party may have to go on hold here tonight then. Duncan Dave is up in a third position. Baguette is just defended. She's parked her car Oh, she's got a red X, though. She's got a red X, Paige McGass. Hopefully that red X will go. Usually when the red X is there, that usually means that major issues then for the connection there. Just on board then with Jinner. As Paige, no, Paige is back in the third. Oh, goodness me. She's teleported back in the third position there. Oh, there's a bit of wizardry craft out there. Fantastic. We have got J-Dog coming in the pits as well. So Dave, they're on fresh soft tires, and J-Dog into the pits as well. He's trying to bit both Haas cars on a nightmare race there, their home Grand Prix, unfortunately. And going back out then. Anyway, then it's saying, oh, the curse of the curse of the spectator now. And now back out is now back at the pit lane is Smithfield Mighty and J-Dog. Then they're going to get very close then at the top of the hill. How close are they? Not too close, actually. Winnie is getting close to the back of Scooby Stew at this moment. Vince saying, oh my God, she's picked up the penalty as well. It's all going Pete Tong then as the Sir Smasher's put his spirits back then. We're just watching Winnie at the moment. Lap 22 out of 28. Winnie's on the inside of Scooby Stew. Oh my goodness me. There's a Winnie there. Goodness me. He's running the Bronco ball, isn't he? Down the back straight. My word. Getting very tense indeed then. As Paige there is still in front there. Jinner and Duncan Davis probably on a bit of issues overtaking Paige there as she's teleporting here, there and everywhere. I think she's been watching a bit of Doctor Who perhaps then. But at the moment that doesn't make a difference. What makes a difference is that she's still in third position. Well, let's just take a look at the penalty set. Paige has got a 3-second penalty, but she's still in front of Duncan Dave and Jinner on circuit. Connects has got a 6-second penalty as well, so he has to catch, pass, and then make up 6 seconds on Starburst set. That is still achievable, I think, though, because Starburst's tires are going to be quite worn at the moment now. On board, back on board then with Duncan Dave as well. As of course, I think the Paige doing a superb job of keeping the likes of Duncan Dave and Jinner back then. Jinner's been on the front row before, hasn't he? He's a superb qualified, Jinner is, and he's got a lot of points as well in his career. So if he wants to set the fast on the race, he might be able to get a point here. And Duncan Dave has also been a multiple pole sitter as well, hasn't he? And Duncan Dave has so Paige doing a superb job, but look at this though, she's harvesting. Duncan Dave is alongside passes Baguette and moves up into third position now as Baguette dropping down in to fourth position then, and Duncan Dave had the job done. It's a good one. And now then Duncan Dave had how quickly is he going to now catch and pass connects it. He has to, it's Jinner's on the inside then. Oh my goodness me. Jinner does have 12 seconds of penalty then. Duncan Dave has 3 seconds penalty, so he needs to give him 3 seconds now of connection, so he has to half the deficit here if he wants to get up in the second end, which would really help him in the Drivers' Championship then, with both Brooksy not here and also J-Dog having an absolute nightmare race then before he come out of the final turn then as well. Paige then is once again harvesting then, and she looks like she's struggling then with the amount of Earth energies that she has distributed. Is that right? No, it isn't. Used, that would do. Used then over the course of this race then. So look, she is harvesting constantly at the moment now, and now it's going to really freed the appetite then of Jinner, is there? And here we're on board now with Jinner as Duncan Dave is 7/10 of a second in front now, but Paige will have DRS then for her to help her defence then from Jinner, but also Paige will know that Jinner has got 12 seconds of penalties there. So so that means that Jinner is going to have to really scamper up the road by 9 seconds. I thought he was going to have a look there. Not quite. Starburst has got the 7-second gap advantage still then, but that gap is now starting to come down then. His Connects is now starting to use those medium tyres, and is this a stretch too far for the soft tyres, and they got to go another 5 laps then, so that is quite a dangerous territory now for the soft runners. The likes of Kaz and Styles, Jinner at the inside passes Paige, and away he goes, but Jinner is now got to really put his toe down, doesn't he, if he wants to get out of Paige's window. Otherwise that is it. It's been a very enthralling Grand Prix. Action galore. Let's just take stock of what has gone on in this race tonight then. Craig R retired from the race early on then. Hammer Time and Connects came to blows there, and that was an almighty shut, and Hammer Time is going to be furious as he jets out of the race as well. Kaz got 3-second penalty. Crustier T, Spud and R9 all parked their cars, unfortunately. J-Dog down in 12th position there. 3-for-1, he got the fast up to 11th. Scooby Stew on medium tyres, very worn medium tyres. Winnie on fresh soft tyres along with Sir Dave as well. They're going to be quite quick towards the end of this one. Into the pits there comes Kaz, and so Kaz has pushed those tyres to 11 laps before he's broke. before he decided to come to the pits. And I think he might be concerned about the tires breaking on him and getting penalties. Now, Search Russian, hashtag full seat for Paige. And well, she's doing a superb job tonight, isn't she, Paige? It's great stuff. But Kaz is on medium tires as well. So Kaz is not, I wonder if he didn't have any soft tires left. And I'll be surprised if he doesn't for Kaz. But that is not good, unfortunately, for Kaz. And the gap is now down to 3.6 seconds. And Connects is coming out. Starburst at quite a rate of knots now. This is going to be an unknown territory. They're taking the soft tires quite a long way into this race. Same with Stars as well. Stars, though, has done 2 laps less, and so that may be crucial in this race later on then. We have got Scooby Stew dropping out of the points. He's down in them position as well, as we got the clouds then starting to gather here in a coach. And I wonder if the rain may return in this race and to add an extra spice. It has been a very spicy race indeed, hasn't it? Been a very epic race, to say the very least, hasn't it? Starburst is 6.4 seconds. The gap is between himself and Connects. Cross the line then, Starburst comes out, and Willis is taking a look at the gap. Then they're on board the race here now. 3 laps to go in this race, so the gap is 3.2 seconds. There's Connects. You can see his target just going up into turn 1 now, and it's going to be the first sector where I think that Connects is really going to gain. Then where they're just going around the S as well. Then Becca's saying that the Starburst tires must be on the verge there. I think they're very much on the blink. Then I'm not sure if rain's coming or not, but look at how gloomy it's got over here at the moment there. Jenna now is still within Paige's window then, so Paige is still in a net, thinks she's in a net third actually. Yes, she's in a net third still, Paige is at the moment, so Paige could be on the podium here for the first time in her career. Well, fantastic stuff indeed. That the gap is now 5.2 seconds there. Connects is taking a second out there, but he needs more. He needs more if he wants to catch pass and then take 6 seconds off of Starburst then, with just 2.5 laps to go then, down the back straight then. Jenna and Duncan Davis going then, and there's Paige in the background there. She has a 3-second penalty, of course, but she is still in the window of getting on the podium at the moment, but she's out of DRS range now of Duncan David. This is the closest battle on track. However, answer that, J-Dog is now on the back of Scooby Stew. There is no points at the moment for those 2 drivers, and we're down to 12 runners out of the 18 to start in this Grand Prix. Gap is down to 2.2 seconds then as well. It is going to be very much twinkle toes then in the final stage of the race then for Starburst. This is a crucial race though. This is a very crucial race indeed then for Starburst to go for a second Grand Prix win. J-Dog got forward to the back of the McLaren at 4.8 seconds then, on lap 27 out of 28 then. It's a crucial race then for Starburst then. He'll get 25 points in front of Paris then with 4 races to go. That is crucial, and they're just seeing, oh gosh, they're almost Scooby Stew and J-Dog almost coming to blows on the straight there. Goodness gracious me then. Back in the battle in for the final podium place at the moment then. This is getting very hair and scanty. I think they made Potman, Scooby Stew is saying then, as rain! There's rain afoot then, so goodness me then, this is not what any of the drivers want to see then. So how heavy is this rain going to be then with just 2 laps to go in the United States Grand Prix? Wow, incredible. Jenna's got now a 3-second penalty. I think that's all but confirmed that Paige will be in 4th position then. And Starburst there, who's limping, he's really has to take it very carefully now, because he's surely in puncture territory now. Oh my goodness gracious me then, as Becca's gone, OMG, the drama. It is absolutely dramatic to end this week-long drama here in ALR in the United States Grand Prix. Absolutely incredible stuff. Do you remember? Oh, Jenner is past them. Duncan Dave moved up into third position. Jenner has his own superb race. However, the thing that's holding him back, though, unfortunately, is that the penalties is gone. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be crucial in the end of this race, and that's going to hurt it. But Paige is now still within that podium place at the moment. Scooby Stew, oh no, that's Smithy Almighty is off the circuit. J-Dog is in the point then. Is in the points, and he gets 1 point at the moment. Keep going, keep going. Winners all bid it there. Lap 28 out of 28 then for Starburst. He's taken these soft tires into unknown territory here this week then. No one is taking any soft tires this long before in ALR in this race over the course of the last few days. And Starburst then has still got a 3-second gap between himself and Connects as well, and he is going to take it very gingerly as well. It is greasy on the surface now as the rain has been coming down. It is also going to be his tire wear as well as it for Starburst. And he has about technically a 9-second deficit between himself and Connects, with one more lap to go. Then goodness gracious me, then they're going to have to really tippy-toe around this race course now, don't they? And then Starburst 2.5 seconds, 2.4 seconds. There's Connects in the background there, and he is now on the back straight. Page in second now. Goodness me, I didn't even fathom that then. I think it might be a bit too far there, Page's, but I'm sure that she might get third here tonight then. And down the back straight, 2.4 is still the gap at the moment there. And Starburst is the crucial moment in the championship, with Hamilton being nerfed off by Connects when they were a bit too close there. However, Starburst has picked up the pieces there, and it's taken a crucial Grand Prix win this season, potentially at 2.2 seconds the gap is now. And there is Connects in the background. He's doing a superb job tonight. Connects is his best performance of his ALR career. But Starburst then, he's looking at that. He's almost drifting around turn 18. He's limping around turn 18. There, see, look at how greasy the track is as well. In the final couple of laps then, yellow flag him. Connects is off the circuit. Connects is off the circuit there with just one lap to go. And I think that look at this, and Jenna's limping. Page is having a second. Starburst wins the United States Grand Prix. That's his second Grand Prix win there of the season there. Jenna then is coming through into second on track with Duncan Dave in third position. However, it is going to be Paige Baguette who is second. She is second. That's her best performance of her career in ALR. With Jenna in fourth position there. Can Styles get into fourth position there as well? This is another good race for Styles. He has really gone under the radar in the last couple of laps. He is now in fifth position in the end there. Sir Dave will be in a very solid sixth as well. Good stuff from Sir Dave, as really there he came to the pits early on then. Halfway through the race, I didn't even throw on there set of soft tires. That was absolutely beautiful call there from Sir Dave, and he'll finish sixth in this race. Winnie is going to be seventh as well. That's good points there for the Red Bull driver. He's going to be overjoyed with that result. Eighth finish is Kaz, and Diaz has now been disabled then, as we had this has been an absolutely epic race, and this one out. And J-Dog is going to finish 8th for the end. Scooby Stew, Kaz in 9th, and Scooby Stew is going to complete the top 10 as well then, as I think we have got Smithy Almighty going to finish in 11th finish there. So hats off to Smith Almighty to limp the car home as well. Oh, there is Starburst then, absolutely overjoyed with this result. Really good stuff indeed then for Starburst. That's the second Grand Prix win of his season in Alr Cobalt, and this is a crucial one indeed, I think, then, as he has now extended his lead in the championship. Extended his lead on Paris as well. Paige Baguette gets her driver of the day, but not only that then, she gets her first podium in ALR history. Fantastic stuff there for Paige. Really well done indeed. Great drive indeed there from Paige. Great drive from Starburst as well. Absolutely great stuff there. And yes, what a race indeed. I'm just seeing in the comments that was a cracking one, wasn't it, to say the very least. And I am a very sweaty mess then tonight, which is nothing unusual. Absolutely incredible stuff. Let's take a final look at the classification then, shall we, from the United States Grand Prix. Driver of the day, no quarrels from me then. Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Paige. She won the race there with one less stop as well. Then going to the medium tires there. Very nice and done indeed. Starburst got 17 soft tires to the end there. Brilliant. So Starburst wins the Grand Prix. Second position was Paige in the end. Third position was Duncan Dave. Fourth was Gino today. Good result for Gino. I think that's his best result of his career. Stars in fifth there. Another good result for Stars there. Very on a rich run of form in the Red Bull team at the moment there. He's out of third, he's out of fourth, now he's out of fifth. Sir Dave in sixth position there. Winnie in seventh there. J-Dog is eighth. Ninth is Kaz. Scooby Stew in 10th position there. 11th is Smithy Almighty. Retirement is Connects. Iron Knight, Spud, Crustier T, ZGS, Hammer Time, and ZGS, and Craig are all out of the United States Grand Prix. Paige just put in the comments, what on earth is going on there? All I know is, Paige, that you have done a superb job there, and kept the penalties down, and really did a great job there to gets second today. Really well done indeed. Starburst, though, who's got him to second position now, and I think this result has also stopped, don't quote me, has also stopped Hammer Time from taking the championship in Mexico, which means that we're guaranteed to have guaranteed for the championship to carry on to at least Brazil. Well done indeed. And, well, I'm wondering then if, I don't think everyone's going to be coming into the commentary box tonight, which is unfortunate then, but well, it looks like that I'm all alone, no one here beside me. Right, but anyway, let's just extend this broadcast a minute, shall we? Next week we are in the heights of Mexico City, Mexico, as of course said, for the Mexican Grand Prix, round 17 of the World Championship. The championship for gold is very much hotly contested. 35 points separates German and Emerson with 4 Grand Prix to go. The Constructors Championship is starting to look in very handsomely in McLaren's favour as well, with Ferrari starting to drop the ball in the gold championship. Silver, it's all done and dusted for young Tommy. He is the world champion. Absolutely superb stuff indeed there for young Tommy. The Constructors Championship is also very much near perfection as well. And I think that I've got a guest in the old commentary box. Paige, well done. Absolutely superb stuff today. You got your first podium of your career in ALR. Talk us about that. I must say, it didn't look too. I was going to say it didn't look too good in qualifying, but I was hearing that you wasn't there for qualifying. I think you should skip qualifying more often. Fantastic. But talking about the race then, goodness me, how difficult was it at the beginning?
Actually, it wasn't too bad. I really considered starting on inters. But then I kind of saw the track and just thought it's not worth the risk.
And did you? And when you did eventually change to the intermediate tires, did you feel that the time was right to go onto the intermediate tires? And if so, then how, or was you more concerned about what the other drivers are doing out there?
I honestly wasn't going to follow anyone else. I didn't care what they did. I knew what I wanted to do, and I was going to stick to it, no matter what anyone else around me did.
And then in the end, then you went on to the medium tires there, and you goodness me, you was the twinkle toes towards the end there, just made sure that you kept it around the track there. How difficult was it there to keep
to spin?
You were
on
scared
those last couple of laps when it started raining, but I'm impressed with that, considering I was in a work meeting for half of that race.
Oh, really?
Which is why I didn't qualify.
Well, goodness me, talk about multitasking then. I need to learn a thing or two. Fantastic. And getting second today then. If that's your best result as well, how did you keep Duncan, David, Jenner behind you for all those laps then? Because I must say, on the DRS on this circuit, people breeze by each other, but not today. You was doing superb.
No idea. But the gap wasn't closing down. But then I saw that they just had more penalties, so I was like, I'm just going to let them go. There's no point trying to defend and then ruin both of our races if an incident happens.
So
it wasn't worth it.
So quite chilled then. Well, that is very impressive indeed. Then, well done to you indeed. You must like USA because you came fifth as well on Monday. It was Monday, wasn't it? You must be liking it here.
I didn't think I did.
Oh.
I missed the PB race of it because I was moving, and I was like, I wasn't disappointed with that at all. And then I had one race there and finished P2. And apparently it's now just become like my strongest track. And I'm not sure how.
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is the results today. Well done, Paige. Brilliant results today. And I think everyone in the comments there was cheering you on indeed. Then, driver of the day, second position, podium today. Absolutely smashed it today. Well done indeed. And that is going to be it then for ALR this week in the United States. Remember, there is a big old announcement coming up in 32 minutes' time, but I'm going to be tucked up in bed, I think, because I'm absolutely shattered. Join us in Mexico on Sunday night then, where Emerson and Gurman are going to go head-to-head. Are going to go head-to-head again, and we're just 4 rounds to go then. Also in bronze as well, with Theo's championship coronation has had to be put on hold, hasn't it there? But he still just needs third to win the world championship. And Hammer Tom's championship coronation has been extended to perhaps Brazil. We'll see you in Mexico in a couple of days' time. But from here in ALR, from what's been a superb week of racing, goodbye.